where there's no power. One of my favorite tools in my toolbox for this very purpose is the Lightbug. The Lightbug is a portable solar-powered ultra-bright floodlight with 3 life-saving ultra-bright modes. The Lightbug also doubles as a power pack, which allows me to charge my phone and other devices wherever I go. It's also water and impact resistant because it's built from the ground up for survival and prepping. Order the Lightbug today. Lowest prices of the year starts now for the holiday season. Just go to lightbug.com or click the link in the description. You'll get 20% off the promo code X20. Invest in quality and gear in your health. I highly recommend it. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the mainstream media, the central bank, the invisible enemy, they tried everything they possibly could do to bring down this economy. It has not worked. And they tried to blame it on Trump. Still, it has not worked. And Trump, he just turned the tables on them. He is now pointing the finger at Congress, at the central bank, the invisible enemy. And he just used everything they were trying to throw at him. He used it against them. This is not going to go well for the central bank, for the deep state, for the mainstream media, for the corrupt politicians. We'll be talking about that in just a moment. But first, since the election, and the elections are not over yet, we can see the board very, very clearly. Trump can see the board very, very clearly. He can see those individuals that were playing a role, those individuals who pretended to be with him. We could see those individuals who were pretending to do right by the people. And now, after this election, where everyone believes, and I'm talking about the mainstream media and these corrupt individuals believe that Biden is the president-elect, we could see their true colors. Now, we know out in the UK, the people have voted for a Brexit. It's been many, many years now. And all they keep doing is swapping one leader for another. And the leaders out there do nothing. We just found out recently that Boris Johnson is not who he says he is. Why doesn't he just push the Brexit? What is he waiting for? Well, Nigel Farage, he is warning everyone. He is warning that what is going to happen here is that there's going to be a Brexit if Boris Johnson is still in power, and it's going to be a Brexit only in name. That is it. And of course, what is the government, what is the central bank going to do? They're going to say this is a fantastic victory. And this is what Nigel Farage says. This is all, in my view, an act. This is a giant charade. It's to make us think that they are really, really fighting hard to get us a good deal. It sounds very close to what is happening here in the United States with the COVID relief bill, where Congress is making it seem like they're working really, really hard for the people, and they're doing everything they possibly can to help out those who are struggling. Well, did they do that? No, they didn't. We know from the bill that there is hardly any of those funds coming to the American people. We know from this bill that it's going overseas to their different special interest groups where they can launder the money. Now, Lindsey Graham, he came out and he tweeted this out. COVID-19 package, while imperfect, will save jobs and lives. The sooner the bill becomes law, the better. It will allow millions of businesses to avoid bankruptcy, deliver vaccines even faster, help those unemployed, and provide money for families who are struggling. Really? $600? Why don't we just take those billions and billions of dollars and reallocate them to the people? I mean, does he really believe this? Well, Jeff Carlson responded to this. It's impossible to be so tone deaf that you would send this after Trump called out the package for the steaming garbage heap it is. So what's the real reason you're still pushing this? Remember, there are corrupt individuals on both sides. Now, what's very interesting, there were only 6 Republicans that voted against the relief bill. That was Marsha Blackburn, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, and Ted Cruz. The rest, they said, yes, this is a great bill. Let's bring this into the people. They're going to thank us for this. Well, that didn't work out. This bill is a nightmare. This bill is not for the people. Trump, he came out and basically exposed the money laundering operation. He exposed Congress to the American people, showing that.
Here's how easy it is to connect with an MD Live physician. Set up an account, request your visit, and talk to your doctor from your home. Visits usually take about 10 minutes by phone or video. MD Live, your first line of defense.
They do not have the people's best interest at heart. Not many presidents have done this in the past. He came out and showed everyone what they're really doing. How much is going to the people? How much is going everywhere else? Take a listen to what he said, and especially at the end of his entire statement.
Can we run it back? I want to see if we can hear it. I'm going to just be real quiet.
Blocked as COVID relief legislation in an effort to advance their extreme left-wing agenda and influence the election. Then, a few months ago, Congress started negotiations on a new package to get urgently needed help to the American people. It's taken forever. However, the bill they are now planning to send back to my desk is much different than anticipated. It really is a disgrace. For example, among the more than 5,000 pages in this bill, which nobody in Congress has read because of its length and complexity, it's called the COVID Relief Bill, but it has almost nothing to do with COVID. This bill contains $85.5 million for assistance to Cambodia, $134 million to Burma, $1.3 billion for Egypt and the Egyptian military, which will go out and buy almost exclusively Russian military equipment. $25 million for democracy and gender programs in Pakistan. $505 million to Belize, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Panama. $40 million for the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., which is not even open for business. $1 billion for the Smithsonian, and an additional $154 million for the National Gallery of Art. Likewise, these facilities are essentially not open. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico, a provision to promote the breeding of fish in federal hatcheries, $3 million in poultry production technology, $2 million to research the impact of down trees, $566 million for construction projects at the FBI. The bill also allows stimulus checks for the family members of illegal aliens, allowing them to get up to $1,800 each. This is far more than the Americans are given. Despite all of this wasteful spending and much more, the $900 billion package provides hardworking taxpayers with only $600 each in relief payments. And not enough money is given to small businesses, and in particular restaurants, whose owners have suffered so grievously. They were only given a deduction for others to use in business their restaurant for 2 years. This 2-year period must be withdrawn, which will allow the owners to obtain financing and get their restaurants back in condition. Congress can terminate it at a much later date, but 2 years is not acceptable. It's not enough. Congress found plenty of money for foreign countries, lobbyists, and special interests, while sending the bare minimum to the American people who need it. It wasn't their fault. It was China's fault, not their fault. I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000, or $4,000 for a couple. I'm also asking Congress to immediately get rid of the wasteful and unnecessary items from this legislation and to send me a suitable bill, or else the next administration will have to deliver a COVID relief package, and maybe that administration will be me, and we will get it done. Thank you very much.
And if you noticed, he called them out line by line of where all this is going. And then he said his administration will still be in power. So remember, Trump, going all the way back to October, he told Congress what to do. He told Congress, we need to create something that will benefit the people, period. That's it. Benefit the people. And this is what he tweeted out on October 6th, 2020. If I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks, $1,200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I am ready to sign right now. Are you listening, Nancy? So he said, if I'm sent a standalone bill for stimulus for $1,200, he's not telling them to put anything else in there, just a bill that will help the people out. That is it. Actually, that's all should have been in the stimulus bill. It should have helped the restaurants. It should have helped all the small businesses. It should have helped the people. None of this money should have gone to foreign governments. This is the stimulus bill for America. This is to help those individuals that are suffering, those individuals that are losing their businesses, not to help foreign governments launder the money so that money can go back to certain governors and mayors and other politicians and George Soros and the rest. But you can see how these individuals are panicking now because Trump brought this to the attention of the American people. The people have heard this. Now Congress is scrambling because they look like idiots. And you can see that they're panicking. There are certain individuals saying, okay, let's rework this. There are others that are saying, no way. We have to continue on with this omnibus bill. And you can't do anything about it because Trump is trying to hurt democracy. Amy Klobuchar came out and she said, it is the second biggest stimulus in the history of America. And for him to turn this down, obviously, we have the votes to override his veto. She said, literally, he's trying to burn this country down on his way out. Really? Giving the American people more money? And just the American people? He's trying to burn down the country? Actually, I think it's the opposite. She also said it's an attack on our very democracy. By the way, it's a republic, it's not a democracy. And it's an attack on every American. Wait a minute. Really, the people feel like this is an attack. I'm going to give you $1,200 or $2,000 for a married couple instead of $600. Does that feel like an attack? Oh, wait. I'm going to stop billions and billions of dollars going to foreign governments so it can't be laundered back to the corrupt politicians. Does that feel like an attack? No. Now, we have to remember there are two bills now heading towards Trump. One is the NDAA, and this is the one that has the Section 230. Well, it doesn't have the Section 230 in there. He wants the Section 230, but it's not in there. This is about renaming the bases and everything like that out of the Confederate names. It's also has in it where he can't bring the troops home from Afghanistan. Trump just vetoed the NDAA. Now, the omnibus bill, he has to play this a little bit differently. But what he has done here is he has put the spotlight on Congress. The American people now can see that Congress, after all these months, did not work in the best interest of the people. They worked in the best interest for themselves and others, where they can launder the money overseas, bring it back, and pay people off. Remember, they had a lot of agendas, and it's still going on, where they have to pay people off. This is the payoff stage. This is why Cuomo was out there saying that Santa's going to be very good for him, because he worked really hard. He worked really hard killing a lot of people in nursing homes. He worked really hard destroying a lot of businesses in New York. He worked really hard where he made people stay home. He took away their constitutional rights by telling them they can't go out or they'll be arrested. People couldn't go and pray. Yeah, he worked really hard, all right. The same with all the other governors and mayors. But Chad Pergram, he broke down what Trump is going to do with this omnibus bill. And this is what he tweeted out. This is the thread. The president did not outright say he will veto the coronavirus government spending bill, but he very well could prevent it from being law via a pocket veto. Pocket vetoes are very rare. Congress has to be in the proper parliamentary posture for this possibility to play in.
Create for your audience, not algorithms. On Patreon, your fans can directly support your work with paid subscriptions, so you have the freedom to make what you love. Sign up today at patreon.com. That's patreon.com.
But we could very well be in those circumstances now. Under Article 1, Section 7 of the Constitution, the president has 10 days, Sundays excluded, to either sign or veto the bill. Keep in mind that because of the massive nature of the combo bill, the bill has not even been enrolled yet and sent to the president. But here's where the pocket veto comes into play. The latest the current congressional session can end is 11:59 a.m. on January 3rd. This is the drop-dead time for the 116th Congress. A president may in effect veto a bill by keeping it in his pocket and not signing it if it comes too close to the end of a congressional adjournment. Congress must adjourn no later than 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 3rd. In other words, Congress would have to get the president the bill by December 23rd to prevent a pocket veto. Otherwise, the president could run out the clock on the congressional session, effectively blocking any potential override attempt. The president would have to send it back to Capitol Hill with a veto. If he failed to do so in the 10 days, Sundays excluded window, then the bill would automatically become law. Note that the president did not outright threaten a veto, and it is unclear that the president's demands could even pass the House and Senate. Now, I'm just going to skip down to point number 14 on his thread. Had Congress come to an agreement a few days earlier, the possibility of a veto or a pocket veto would not be in play. Congress could simply vote in the waning moments of the 116th Congress to override his veto on the coronavirus omnibus bill. But that didn't happen. Negotiations lasted through the weekend. There was a computer glitch on Capitol Hill which delayed the House and Senate from considering the bill. And here we are. So Trump, he might be able to use a pocket veto to shut this all down. Now, of course, they're going to have to come up with something else. And I do believe they're starting to scramble now because the American people, they can see very, very clearly. Sometimes you have to show the people what Congress is really about. And I think the people are actually seeing this. This is about exposing their entire system, not just the elections, not just their fraud, but how their entire system works, how government creates the bill, passes the bill, and I believe things need to be changed. I think if we're going to pass a bill, it should be just for what the bill is. We shouldn't have riders. We shouldn't have other things stuffed into it. We shouldn't have anything like that. And I believe what Trump is doing right now is he's showing the entire country how this all works. A lot of people don't know. And people are starting to realize and understand that Congress does not work for the people. He did this through their event. He used coronavirus. He used the economy because people, they have one thing in common: their ability to earn money, their ability to make a living. And if you can't make a living and you can't succeed in your business and you can't keep your business operational, well, everyone has this in common. So Trump is using this to expose Congress. This has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican, Independent, because everyone needs to make a living. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your electric bill. You have to pay your heat bill. You have to pay bills. You have to pay your rent, your mortgage, and everything else. So when people see this and they say, well, wait a minute, you're sending billions and billions and billions of dollars across the globe when I need this money and we're paying for this? Yes, people can see very, very clearly now. He just exposed their entire system. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.
That's why right now, when you activate your life-saving USCCA membership at the Platinum or Elite level, you'll automatically get our brand new survival kit, valued at...
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We make a lot of fun of the state of California on this show, you may have noticed, but we're not really joking. California matters, and not just because it's our biggest state. What happens there is, at some point, almost certain to happen where you live. Find a national trend that didn't begin in California. There may be some, there aren't many. So if you want to know the future, or if you want to prevent it, look west. California is a roadmap for the rest of us, and very often a warning. With that in mind, here's the bottom line on California. It's falling apart. Over the course of just the last several decades, California has gone from one of the richest places in the world to the poorest state in our country. More than a third of California's population now hovers around the poverty line. Even before COVID, over 4 million Californians were collecting food stamps. More than 150,000 people in California are homeless. They're everywhere. They're living on the streets, in parks, under overpasses, in tents on the sidewalk. Here's Los Angeles just last month. California didn't always look this way, even recently. This is a human tragedy. It wasn't caused by God or nature. It was caused by the selfishness and the stupidity of bad leaders and their bad policies. If these leaders were judged by their performance, what they do, no big city politician in the state of California would have a job tonight. They know that, so they're working hard to make certain they're not judged by those standards, rational standards. Instead, they inflame racial wounds to try to keep the population distracted and divided, to keep the attention away from them and their failures. Here, for example, is the shamefully incompetent mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, just this summer.
When I talked about killers, I said our collective burden here in this society is that we let black men and women die. I pointed at myself. We collectively have a choice of whether we will be those who heal or whether we will continue being the killers.
Yeah. Whenever they start talking about collective responsibility, you know what they're really saying is, take the gaze away from me. It's not my fault. Garcetti wasn't more specific when he talked about we, the killers. It turns out there are killers in his city. They're not collective, they're individuals, they're criminals. And there are a lot of them. Under Eric Garcetti, crime in Los Angeles has skyrocketed, and many innocent people have died as the result of that. But he's not mourning them. He's not giving speeches in their memory or apologizing for the policies he supported that led to their deaths. And neither, by the way, is the city's new head prosecutor, a man called George Gascon. Gascon was elected with the backing of George Soros. Soros was the single largest donor to his campaign. He wouldn't be the district attorney without George Soros. And so George Gascon has, from his very first day in office, done the bidding of his backer, Soros. He's now announced he will be using the pretext of COVID to release still more criminals into the city of Los Angeles. Watch.
Do you have a plan of giving a priority in terms of vaccinations in the LA County correctional facilities?
Well, I don't control the vaccination, but the plan that we do have is we're working to, expeditiously release as many people as we can, especially those that have been proven to be at high risk, vulnerable people, and obviously people that are not a threat to society. So we are going to try to remove as many people from that confinement. Justice is really about public health and keeping our community safe.
Oh, okay. So there's the Soros puppet giving us a lecture on what justice means. Justice is not punishing the guilty, keeping the dangerous away from your children. It's not about enforcing laws. No, justice is making certain that criminals get critical government services before you do, before your parents do. And that right there, that piece of tape and the attitude behind it distills the emerging politics of California. Politics that you should be deeply afraid of, because when they come to your town, they'll wreck your life. And if we were to put it in one sentence, it's this: those who contribute the least get the most. Got it? But don't you dare complain about it. Shut up and hate yourself in silence. That's an order. Meanwhile, California's elected leaders divide the spoils. That's their job. Taking what other people built, giving it to themselves and to their supporters. And they divide the spoils, as is now official policy in the state of California, in the most divisive, immoral possible way, along lines of color. Here's Congresswoman Maxine Waters explaining what kind of person Governor Gavin Newsom should pick to replace Kamala Harris in the United States Senate.
He has a decision that he has to make, and I think that it will be a black woman. I think he understands that, you know, when Kamala Harris leaves, you know, the Senate, that's only one black woman who was serving. And so
it was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where things really started to go downhill. She was eating salads 4 or 5 times a day. She was running on the treadmill 45 minutes a day and even walking her dogs on long walks on the weekends trying to lose weight. And in the first couple of weeks, she lost weight. But then she hit a plateau, still doing the same things that she's been doing, but she stopped losing weight, and even worse, she started gaining weight back, even though she was working out extremely hard and she was nearly starving herself. So what was going on?
All you have to do to lose weight and have the perfect body is to eat less. How many times have you heard that tired old lie? Want to lose weight? Go on an extremely low-calorie diet. Simple, right? Wrong. Losing weight does not mean always being hungry. Losing weight does not mean salads 3 times a day. And before you slam me with the whole, that's easy for you to say, this isn't about me. This is about the thousands of people worldwide that I've been fortunate enough to be able to help with their weight loss goals, allowing you to eat real food all day long, yet still lose weight faster than you ever have. Now, you can think that I'm being a little too harsh, but please know that I need to break through to you because I want to help you. Okay, quick exercise. Place your hands on your stomach right now. Come on, let's do this. Place your hands on your stomach. Now, where is most of the fat located? Is it on your front? Is it on the side? Maybe your back? Grab the belly fat. Is it a pinch or can you grab some fat? Perhaps you can get a full handful. Now, how long have you been struggling with everything that's in your hands right now? And why haven't you taken care of this before? There is a simple way to completely transform your physique in as little as 12 weeks, like, say, Hugh Jackman did for the Wolverine movie. But to transform himself into the superhero, Jackman followed some of the secrets that I'll reveal to you. Chris Pratt went from the chubby, lovable Andy on Parks and Rec to the cover of Men's Fitness sporting a killer set of abs. What's their secret? They ruthlessly cut through the fluff and the BS. They have zero time to waste because their next film role is starting in just a few weeks. So they can't waste time on the wrong program. Is fruit bad for your diet? You should know that the advice to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables is gravely flawed. This is exactly where many diet books and trainers and dietitians run into trouble. They recommend eating fruit because of the high vitamin content, but they completely ignore fructose. Is fructose good for you? That answer is unfortunately complicated. There's no doubt that fruits offer a slew of health benefits, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients. But the fructose complicates the issue for most people, especially women. Well, guess what? These same rules apply to a lot of vegetables as well. And I know it's enough to make your head spin. How can you possibly know which fruits to eat, how often, and how much? The truth is, when people say that they're gonna get in shape, they do 2 things, and tell me if this sounds familiar to you. 1, they start eating less because the only way to lose weight is to burn off more calories than you consume. That's just science. And 2, they start doing more cardio, jogging, riding the bike, doing the elliptical, because they want to increase how many calories they're burning to lose weight faster. But what if I told you that when you do this, you're actually hurting yourself? How? Well, has it worked for you yet? Or did you end up hitting a wall and eventually quitting. But if you're interested in hearing why these two very common things never actually work, click the link on this video and take my body type quiz. When you click it, it'll take you to a quick 30-second quiz where you'll answer just 6 easy questions. And after answering those 6 questions, we don't need your email or any information from you, but it will take you to a video where I explain why these things don't work and the 3 most important things to do in order to get into better shape than you were in during your 20s. So click that link and I'll see you in a second.
Certainly, it would be, kind of, unfair not to have at least another black woman replace her.
This really is the high point of stupidity in this country's history. Who cares what color your senators are? Who cares what gender they are? You want good government. You want wise, competent people in charge of the country. But that's not what you're getting, because those aren't the criteria. In the end, you should know, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, appointed a man called Alex Padilla to replace Kamala Harris in the Senate. And when he did, no one debated whether Padilla might be a good senator, whether he might improve the schools, or lower the cost of housing, or bring jobs back. Instead, they argued about his race. That was the only thing they cared about. Here's the mayor of San Francisco, London Breed, who, by the way, is an utter buffoon. Most famous not for improving San Francisco, but for defying her own lockdown orders in order to dine at the French Laundry in Napa. Here's that person explaining that Padilla is a bad choice because he's the wrong color.
When you think about the history of this country and the challenges that exist for African Americans, especially African American women in the Senate, definitely this is a real, blow to the African American community, to African American women, to women in general. It was definitely a surprise, and it's an unfortunate situation as we are trying to move this country forward and making sure that Black lives truly matter.
Okay, so you have been a terrible mayor. You have hurt the city, which again, you did not build. You didn't make San Francisco an impressive place that people wanted to move to. You made it worse. So you have disqualified yourself from any comment on government ever for the rest of your life. That's the first thing. The second thing is the rest of us who sit by and let people say things like this on television without standing up and saying, whoa, 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 wait a second. Color and gender are irrelevant to good government. Thinking that way is poison. We're not putting up with this garbage anymore. We're implicated in the destruction of the country if we sit back and let decisions get made along those lines. It's such a destructive sideshow. Meanwhile, the physical reality, the state of California, which is an actual place with tens of millions of actual people, 40 million, our most beautiful state, our most economically important state, falls apart. No one's paying any attention because they're debating the color of the new senator. But the electrical grid is failing. The power flickers on and off like a third world country. The state's forests are so mismanaged they keep catching fire and burning uncontrollably. Climate change isn't doing that. Bad management is doing that. Women, we care about women, really, because women can't jog in public parks for fear of being attacked by the mentally ill homeless. Does anyone care about them? No. And for the privilege of all of this, for living in a state that's literally collapsing around them, the residents of California pay the highest, the most burdensome taxes in the country. So guess what people who can are doing? You know the answer, they're leaving. California's largest export used to be advanced aerospace products. That was the economy of Southern California, that and the movies. They're all gone now. Now the state's main export is population. More than 40% of Bay Area residents tell pollsters they want to leave. Really? And that's one of the happiest places in the state. And it's no wonder the average rent price on a one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco fell 20% in the last year. Why is that? Because no one wants to live there. The most recent estimates show that California lost more than 135,000 people in the last year. Among those people, by the way, is Kamala Harris. She's in Washington now, your capital, and she's bringing California-style governance to the rest of us. You should pay attention to that. Heather McDonald is a former resident of California, and she joins us tonight. Heather, thanks so much for coming on. What I'm so struck by is how the traditional measures of job performance, like how you doing, Is it safe? Can I walk to the grocery store without worrying about being attacked? Can my wife run the park without being raped? Are your forests on fire? Does electricity work? The basics are being completely ignored. How have the leaders of California pulled this off? They destroyed the state, physically destroyed it, and no one says anything.
Well, California is the triumph of identity politics, Tucker, and it is the future of this country if the Harris-Biden agenda is not blocked. As you said, California used to be the most prosperous, opportunity-filled state in the country. Now it's among the poorest thanks to illegal immigration. Its educational excellence was the envy of the country. Now its rock bottom reading and math scores rival those of impoverished southern backwaters. And its cities were gems of beauty and livability. Now they're sites of squalor, anarchy, and crime. And the reason is the triumph of identity politics and the idea that one's alleged victimhood at the hands of a racist white male patriarchy entitles one to exemption from law, the rule of law, and norms of bourgeois behavior. And enough people in this state are seduced and mesmerized and frankly lobotomized by the lies of identity politics and the idea that this is a racist country, which it is not, that they're willing to put up with the destruction of prosperity, of excellence, of future entrepreneurship. The rich can shelter themselves from the resulting breakdown of law and order. It is the middle class that is hurting, that is being screwed, and it is seeing their future be frittered away by what really is the biggest export from academics into the world at large.
What's so infuriating? Not only are race politics immoral and destructive and divisive, what you get in the end is bad management. I mean, it'd be one thing if they gave you these lectures about BLM and ran the place like Singapore, but they run it in the most dysfunctional possible way. Why does no one point out that if your power grid is failing, you are a bad leader? End of story.
The only purpose of government is to apply the rule of law equally, without regards to race and gender. Identity, as you say, does not matter. The government should treat all people the same. It should not make exceptions. George Gascon in LA is carving out exemptions from the criminal law based on perceived victim status. This myth has to be fought, Tucker, as you say. We need to say that the disparities in this country are not driven by racism. They're not driven by sexism. They're driven by bad behavioral choices, the breakdown of the family, bad cultural influences, and those need to be taken on head on. Talking about racism and sexism, as we're going to get ad nauseum from the Harris-Biden agenda, is going to bring this country to its knees.
This is a brain disease, and I will never accept it, and I hope that no other American will ever accept it. This is wrong. We should not accept it. And I really appreciate your clarity on this and so many other topics. Heather Mac Donald, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to bring you a Fox News alert. The president has just announced 26 new pardons. Those include a pardon for Paul Manafort and for Roger Stone. Both of them, of course, you remember, were indicted by the special counsel during the Russia probe. Neither Stone nor Manafort was convicted of colluding with Russia because they didn't. Manafort, who was 71 years old, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison, partly for tax evasion. Stone, who was 68, was convicted of lying to Congress. The FBI, colluding with CNN, raided his home in a pre-dawn raid. Both were subjected to utterly nakedly partisan prosecution, abetted by an activist judge and D.C.-based juries. Stone told Fox News he was watching Fox when he found out about the pardon and has not received formal notification of this. We wanted to get it directly from Roger Stone, so we're pleased to have him join us right now by Skype. Roger Stone, congratulations. If this is in fact true, you're dressed for the occasion, I'm glad to see. Is this true? Have you been pardoned?
I believe it is true. My attorney has now checked with the White House counsel, and we have assurances that the media reports are accurate because it was on CNN. So therefore, it's a high probability that anything there is not true. And my trial was a Soviet-style show.
Why did they do that, do you think? You've thought about it a lot.
I think it's abundantly clear. In July of 2019, the Mueller prosecutor, specifically Jeannie Rhee, approached my attorneys just before the release of the Mueller report seeking my cooperation, essentially in return for some unspecified leniency in sentencing. In other words, Tucker, they wanted me to lie. They wanted me to bear false witness against the president, and I refused to do so. I think that's what this charge was about from the beginning. They must have mistaken me for Michael Cohen, but they had the wrong guy, and I refused to do this. Now the left invents a totally new canard, which is Stone traded his silence regarding misconduct by the president in return for commutation of his sentence and now a pardon. That is a lie. There is no corroboration or evidence to prove that. It is the typical rewriting of history by the left.
I always felt watching what they did to you, if they could do that to you, they could do that to anybody. And so I'm
Well, Tucker, thanks for your outstanding analysis and reporting on this issue. You have been a paragon in the truths of the truth. So God bless you, and God bless America, and God bless our president.
Roger Stone, thanks so much. Well, New York restaurant owners are planning to retaliate against their governor, Andrew Cuomo. A live report next. And Washington, D.C. has decided to replace a traditional Christian holiday with a secular version, St. Anthony Fauci Day. Our live special continues after the break. Thousands of restaurant owners in New York are threatening to retaliate against the state's governor, Andrew Cuomo, for his latest shutdown orders. Fox's senior correspondent Rick Leventhal has that story for us tonight. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Tucker, let's face it, the restaurant industry nationwide is reeling over these coronavirus shutdowns, and they're really upset in New York, where the state's own numbers suggest less than 2% of COVID cases can be traced to indoor dining, while 70% of infections come from households and small gatherings. But the restaurants got restricted anyway, so a group representing thousands of eateries says it's contemplating banning Governor Andrew Cuomo and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio from getting food from their establishments, calling it a taste of their own medicine. One industry veteran who started the Facebook group New York City Restaurants Open says he's warning elected officials, if give us something to give us a fighting chance to stay alive. When I talk to other restaurant owners and people in the business, there's a lot of us that look each other in the eye and say, we're not going to be here next year. Depending on the city and the state, estimates range from 1/3 to 70% of bars and restaurants will not survive this pandemic. And in New York, at least, they're saying if we go hungry, the mayor and governor should too. Tucker?
Amazing. Rick Leventhal, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Now, you sometimes hear people describe our political divide in America as between the religious and the secular. But that's not really true. Everyone in this country has a religion. The question is whether you worship God or whether you worship yourself. Those are America's two competing faiths. And Washington, D.C. is the capital of the latter sect. D.C. is the Rome of spiritual narcissism. In Washington, human power is worshipped as the living God. You'll see temples to human power throughout the city, as well as smaller shrines to its saints. The latest holy man to be beatified there is a diminutive federal bureaucrat called Tony Fauci. Fauci is the high priest of the COVID cult. A paper mask is his sacred garment. Cable television is his pulpit. The people of Washington bow before Father Fauci. They throw their Patagonia fleeces before him to ease his way as he passes like palm fronds in the streets of Jerusalem. They consider him holy. Now the city's mayor, Muriel Bowser, has made it official. Bowser has declared December 24th, formerly the date of a notable Christian holiday, as Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day. In the streets, St. Tony's many acolytes greeted the news with Holy Day indeed. And they tell you the secular world isn't reverent. It certainly is. We should tell you, by the way, that per St. Tony's commandments, each one of the people you just saw at the end went back to their apartments alone and spent the night watching Netflix with their cats and eating Ben & Jerry's in solitude. Because theirs is a monkish religion. Well, lunatic ideologues have done profound damage to major American cities. They've destroyed our education system. They've torn the American nuclear family apart. Now, the people in charge of a major public university are trying to wreck our language. That's next. I think The fewer words you have, the less thinking you can do. And of course, that's the entire point of restricting our available vocabulary down to just a few sanitized grunts. And that's where we're headed. Fast. You may have noticed almost nothing you were allowed to say 10 years ago could you say now. The Cleveland Indians, for example, they're being eliminated. Under our new system, it's hard to keep track of what words you're allowed to use. Even Hillary Clinton, painfully sensitive, an earnest Methodist, violated speech codes, one she probably supports, as recently as a few years ago.
I have a lot of experience dealing with men who sometimes get off the reservation in the way they behave and how they speak.
Hillary Clinton's mad at men, obviously, and has every reason to be. But those men got off the reservation. Now, if she'd checked with the University of Michigan, the speech codes there, Mrs. Clinton would know the phrase off the reservation is now a form of hate speech. That university has helpfully created a Words Matter task force to keep track of which words you're allowed to use, which ones you're allowed to keep in your head, what thoughts you're allowed to have. Take a look at the list. You'll learn that brown bag is no longer acceptable. Neither is the phrase low man on the totem pole. There are a lot of words like that. Curiously, the word picnic is also verboten, and that's no picnic. Mark Stein is keeping track of all the things you're not allowed to say and thinking through why. He joins us tonight. Now, picnic. You would think a word that festive and inoffensive would never find its way onto a blacklist. How did this happen?
Well, this is one of those kind of internet rumors unconnected to anything in reality, which purports to argue that picnic is actually some racist term to do with lynchings. It's not. It's been around for best part of half a millennium. It's French, le pique-nique. And in fact, it's actually one of the great universal words, because if you go up to a Dane or a Norwegian or a Swede or a German or a Dutchman or a Pole or a Slovene and say, what's the word in your language for picnic? They all shout back, picnic. So it's one of those, we are the world, we are the children, kind of universal language. We can all sit around the great global picnic cloth and have a picnic, except for the parochial, moronic American universities that are now banning this word because of some fake internet rumor that it's got something to do with a dark part of American history. It's not. It's nothing to do with that. So you're just making yourself more moronic and more parochial, and that is actually moving yourself onto the linguistic reservation. Off the reservation is a useful term, because what it really means is when you're being penned in to a particular space and you've got to stay within that space. And that's actually what these guys at the University of Michigan are doing, keeping you on the linguistic reservation. And as you said at the beginning, Tucker, you know, if you lack the word to express a thought, in the end you can't think a thought. And that's actually something that's in every single bit of dystopian literature, whether it's George Orwell or whether it's H.G. Wells with the Eloy in the Time Machine. You don't go to a university to shrink your vocabulary. Pull your kids out of this school, folks. This isn't a school anymore.
I notice that these prohibitions only extend to certain people. Others can say precisely whatever they want. Like, nobody polices the speech of some people, but other people lose their jobs over using the wrong word. So how can a word be banned if the ban isn't universally applied? I'm confused.
Well, it empowers the state. For example, if you're a gangster rapper, you can say certain words on your gangster rap single. There was a guy at the Isle of Wight in England who was, it was oldies night in an oldies bar. And he was singing, there were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown, from Kung Fu fighting. And they arrested him because that word would be fine if a Chinese person said it, but it's racist if you're singing it on oldies night in an English bar. So we're empowering authority to determine who can use which words. And my view is that when you're in the word banning business, it doesn't matter whether you're funky Chinamen off the reservation, having a picnic. We should keep all these words, and it's a basic component of liberty for an individual to decide when he's going to use any particular word.
It's just so interesting that as we become ever more sensitive about the harm that words supposedly do, we become less concerned about physical violence. I had a friend who was just assaulted by a homeless man in Washington last week, called the police, they didn't care. As a woman, they didn't care because it happens just too much. It's like not a big deal. Is there a connection between these two trends?
Oh, absolutely, because if you shrink words, and you see this with the modern left, which is actually increasingly incapable of debate, and at a certain point, if you lack the vocabulary to hold a debate, it's easier just to lob a piece of concrete through a store window.
Cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then replaced with the very next meal that you eat and stored as more fat. This is why when you even eat low-calorie foods or run for an hour a day, it seems like you get softer, but you don't actually lose any weight.
There is a simple way to completely transform your physique, like, say, Hugh Jackman did for the Wolverine movie. Hugh isn't the only one to get shredded seemingly overnight. Chris Pratt went from the chubby, lovable Andy on Parks and Rec to the cover of Men's Fitness sporting a killer set of abs. Christian Bale starved himself to skin and bone for a role just weeks before rapidly bulking up and building himself into Batman. So how did these guys do it? It's gotta be steroids or designer foods that the rest of us don't have access to, right? Actually, no. The truth is that Hollywood's elite actors can get ripped while adding 12, 15, even 20 pounds of muscle in just a few weeks because they follow a long forgotten and suppressed by the fitness industry secret that was used for generations of bodybuilders and athletes before steroids were even invented.
So according to studies, there's one food that can raise your overall testosterone levels by 52% and overall sexual health by 78%. Can you guess what it is? I'm gonna say probably not, because until a couple of years ago, I had never heard of this food. It's got a super weird name, but what's cool is that you can literally start eating this one food today to reclaim your masculinity, to get higher energy levels, raise your libido again, start burning fat again, start building real muscle again, and actually start feeling good. If you take a testosterone supplement to raise your testosterone levels, nothing's gonna happen. Why? Because there's another hormone in your body that completely destroys testosterone, and there's 4 common foods that you're probably eating right now that are doing that exact thing, causing you to feel low energy and fatigue, low libido, increased fat gain, you can't put on any muscle, and so all these things are just happening from eating foods that you could easily cut out of your diet. And when I did this, because I tried it for 30 days, my results have gone through the roof. And so I made a free video presentation to show you what these 4 foods are, and also to show you 4 foods that you can eat instead of these so that you can really start feeling good and looking a lot better. So if you want to check it out, hit that link below while you still can.
Window.
Right. Yeah, it's so perfectly put, as always. The great Mark Steyn, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Merry Christmas, Tucker.
Merry Christmas. Still allowed. Well, usually wasteful government spending is derided as pork, but in the state of New York, government officials wasted their coronavirus bailout funds on actual pork, and then the silverware to eat the pig. That's next. Kind of an amazing story. Also, more states are deciding how to dole out the vaccine. Dr. Siegel joins us to explain on what basis they're making those decisions. We'll be right back. There's evidence that officials in New York and Erie County, that's where Buffalo is, apparently wasted coronavirus funds on frivolous expenses. Stefan Mihailu is the county controller there in Erie County, and we're happy to have him on tonight to explain exactly what happened. Stefan, thanks so much for coming on. So where did this money go? Merry Christmas. I appreciate it.
It went to a lot of pizza shops, restaurants. You know, instead of having CARES Act funding, we received $160 million of it in Erie County. Politicians spent it on pizza, wings, literally raw pork chops, pots and pans, so that employees, county workers, can eat. So instead of a lot of that money going to the front lines to fight coronavirus, federal tax dollars went literally towards pork chops and food for county workers. And I think that's a colossal waste. And I notified every member of Congress and the federal government about that, because I don't think that's what they intended CARES Act funding to go for. I see it as a waste. And it's a slap in the face to a lot of people who are on the front lines fighting coronavirus, and a lot of business owners who are being crushed by COVID rules that politicians themselves don't follow.
This is no attack on county workers. I'm sure you've got a lot of really good people working in your county, but county jobs are among the most secure in the world. Very hard to get fired. They've got the best benefits probably in New York State outside of finance. These are secure jobs. These people are not in peril, but the money went to them and not the people who need it? How'd that work?
And I think that's why people are so frustrated, because business owners are barely hanging by. They can barely keep their lights on. And yet CARES Act funding is being used to feed county employees who are working as contact tracers, so to speak. Tucker, I pack my lunch all the time. I pay for my own food. And I think that's where that frustration is across the country, is that here government is basically blowing and spending all of this money on pizza wings, raw pork, and pots and pans. And they're thinking, wait a minute, how is this fighting coronavirus, number one? And yet, why am I only getting $600 from the federal government when money's being wasted here in Erie County, or at the federal level, we're sending millions of dollars overseas, and yet some of these businesses that are struggling can barely keep the lights on. So I'm exposing a lot of this fraud at the local level, but at the national level, you've got these liberal Democrats like Gavin Newsom, Nancy Pelosi, Andrew Cuomo, even Chris Cuomo, rules for thee, but not for me. And they're shoving all of these COVID rules that they themselves don't follow, and yet they're crippling businesses and wasting money.
It's almost beyond belief. I mean, yesterday we watched Senator Lindsey Graham explain that federal money needs to go to Pakistan so the Pakistanis can embrace progressive gender roles. And now we're learning that state employees in New York are buying pork chops with money for COVID relief. It's really distressing, and I appreciate, Stefan, your taking the time to explain this to us and expose it. Really quick, is anyone going to get punished for this?
Well, we've notified all members of Congress, and we're going to notify the federal government at the end of the year, because it's not just food. Our county is paying political appointees, salaried people, overtime. Our health commissioner makes $202,000 a year, and she's earned $160,000 in overtime and holiday pay. So here, even our local county executive, he's ordering people to wear masks. He was caught without one, and drinking beer and eating communal food. And yet all of these political appointees, they've made about $1 million in overtime and holiday pay, and yet businesses are getting...
I just want...
Imagine losing everything, even though you did nothing wrong. Unfortunately, this scenario is all too common after a self-defense incident. It may be hard to believe, but often the good guy winds up in jail and broke. How, may you ask? Well, a lot of it comes down to knowing what to do and what not to do after the police arrive. Now, you may think that you know what to do, but do you really? Are you willing to risk your freedom and your financial health over this? Download the USCCA's free guide, The 6 Things That You Didn't Know Would Happen When the Police Arrive. Right now, you need to do this to find out what to do and what not to do after a self-defense incident. It's packed full of essential information to keep you out of jail and with your family where you belong. Don't wait until it's too late. Click Learn More now.
Hello, friends. Today you'll see how actors of the movie The Addams Family in 1991 have changed. You'll know their original names and age. I will show you how they looked then in 1991 and what's with them now in 2020. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go! Morticia Addams, Angelica Houston, is the real head of the family. Being low-voiced, has stunning beauty and has a fierce loyalty to her family. She wants her family to uphold the Addams family traditions. She's usually most taken aback when one of the clan goes astray and does something that we would consider normal, pleasant. Uncle Fester Addams, played by Christopher Lloyd, is the long-lost brother of Gomez Addams. He was believed to have been lost in the Bermuda Triangle for 25 years. A loan shark named Abigail Craven conspires to steal the Addams' fortune using her son Gordon, who displays an eerie resemblance to the missing Fester. Lurch, Carol Strucken, is the manservant to the Addams family. He is a tall, shambling, gloomy butler. Lurch is not a very good butler, but a faithful one. He never speaks audibly, but groans recurrently. Lurch was present when Abigail Craven brings her son Gordon, disguised as the long-lost Uncle Fester, to the Addams family mansion. Gomez Addams, played by Raul Julia, is the head of the Addams family. He is the father of Pugsley and Wednesday, and the husband of Morticia and brother of Fester. Gomez is the most social of his family members and often reaches out to those around him, though as a result of this, he often ends up doing more harm than good. Pugsley Addams is the child of Morticia and Gomez Addams, but he is younger than his sister Wednesday. Pugsley is a much less intelligent character. He acts as an unwitting accomplice to his sister, who makes attempts to inflict lethal harm upon him. Although he has returned the favor on occasion, he was played by Jimmy Workman. Granny is deceased and her tombstone is seen in the family cemetery. Instead, Granny lives with the family. Maternal grandmother is known for her cynical and morbid sense of humor and her recreational interest in the occult. She is a witch who dwells in potion-making spells. Granny was portrayed by actress Judith Malina. Tully Alford served as the Addams family's lawyer. He also often confronting Gomez in sword fighting and always losing. He always hated the Addamses and tortured Morticia in a torture will. Tully's ultimate fates are unknown when Uncle Fester unleashes a hurricane in the Addams mansion's library. He was played by Dan Hedaya. Abigail Craven, Elizabeth Wilson, is the main willing and con artist and loan shark. She discovered Uncle Fester suffering from amnesia in the Bermuda Triangle, renamed him Gordon, and took him in as her son. She is a sophisticated and corrupt woman who pretends to be a doctor who has been working with Fester for years. Margaret Addams was married to the Addams family lawyer Tully. Like many other strangers to the Addams family, she's initially shocked and appalled at their lifestyle. During Fester's ball, her husband Tully, eager to get her off his back, hands her off to dance with cousin It upon his arrival. She was played by Dana Ivey.
Your online activity can expose your personal info there, and everywhere.
Another member of the family is the disembodied hand named Thing, Christopher Hart. Thing was Gunna's friend since childhood. He appeared out of ubiquitous boxes or other convenient containers throughout the house. He communicated with the Addamses with a Morse-like alphabet, sign language, writing, and knocking on wood. Cousin It. John Franklin is a relative of the Addams family. Cousin Ed's entire body is covered with hair. Although he sometimes wore opera gloves, it isn't clear what, if anything, is beneath the hair. Cousin Ed drove a three-wheeled car. He was quite the playboy. He later fell in love with Margaret Alford and married her. Morticia visited this employment agent to try to find work after Tully Alford had the Addams family evicted from the mansion. In the movie, she was 46, but today, 30 years after, she's already 86. And she looks pretty good. Agent was portrayed by actress Kate McGregor Stewart. Little Tully is the son of Tully Alford. At his school's holiday performance, he was dressed as an elf in a costume Margaret Alford made herself. In that period of time, he was only 12 years old, and today, he's already 42. Little Tully was portrayed by actor Wade Hertford. Susan Perkins was Wednesday's teacher. She told Morticia that she was concerned because when asked to choose a hero to admire, Wednesday chose a witch, her great-aunt Calpurnia Addams. Her age in the film is 32, and today she is 62. Susan Perkins was portrayed by actress Layla Ivy. This conductor played at the party held for Uncle Fester before he was to leave the Addams family and return to the Bermuda Triangle. When the film was shot, he was 31. Now, 30 years after, he is already 61. This conductor was portrayed by actor Mark Shaman. Judge Womack, played by Paul Benedict, was the Addams family's nearest neighbor. He was constantly enraged when his house was hit by Gomez Addams hitting golf balls off the Addams mansion roof, frequently breaking the windows of Womack's home. Womack was the auctioneer of a charity auction benefiting orphans and widows. Wednesday Addams, Christina Ricci, is one of the children of Gomez Addams and Morticia Addams, as well as the older sister of Pugsley Addams. Wednesday shows sadistic tendencies and a dark personality, and is revealed to have a deep interest in the Bermuda Triangle and an admiration for an ancestor who was burned as a witch. This Girl Scout offered to buy a cup of Wednesday and Pugsley's lemonade if they bought a box of her Girl Scout cookies. In the film, she was 10. Now she is 40, and she looks great. The Girl Scout was played by a Canadian actress named Mercedes McNabb, who would also appear in Addams Family Values as Amanda Buckman. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share it on social networks, like it, and
The United States Concealed Carry Association is an organization that supports your rights
Tensions explode as Beijing warship follows U.S. missile destroyer. China's military has followed a U.S.-guided missile destroyer as it edged closer to a fortified region in South China. The U.S. Navy claimed the USS John S. McCain was on a freedom of navigation mission when it traveled through the Spratly Islands on Tuesday. A U.S. official told Fox News a Chinese warship trailed the U.S. warship as the ship came close to China's military premises on Johnson South Reef and Gavin Reef. The U.S. 7th Fleet released a statement disclosing details about the mission and claiming it had complied with international regulation. It said, "All interactions with foreign military forces were consistent with international norms and did not impact the operation." The mission was one of the U.S. several attempts to defend the right of free passage through the contested South China Sea region. China continues to claim historical sovereignty over 9/10 of the region, refuting a 2016 international arbitration decree that rebutted such affirmations. The 7th Fleet said, "Unlawful and sweeping maritime claims in the South China Sea pose a serious threat to the freedom of the seas, including the freedoms of navigation and overflight, free trade and unimpeded commerce, and freedom of economic opportunity for South China Sea littoral nations." The United States upholds freedom of navigation as a principle. The news came after China expelled U.S. warships in the highly contested South China Sea. Chinese state-run news outlet, the Global Times, reported the People's Liberation Army, PLA, demonstrated its control over the region by expelling the trespassing U.S. warship. Today, the U.S. destroyer USS John S. McCain entered waters near China's Nansha Islands without authorization of the Chinese government, the outlet said. In a statement, Senior Colonel Tianjun Li, a spokesperson for the PLA Southern Theater Command, revealed they ousted the ship using Navy and aerial forces. The Global Times said, "The U.S. action was a serious violation of China's sovereignty and security, and it gravely disrupted peace and stability in the South China Sea, which China is resolutely against." They quoted Tian saying command troops are on high alert at all times and will firmly carry out their duties and missions to safeguard national sovereignty and security as well as peace and stability in the region. The publication reported analysts said the U.S. invasion demonstrates their mentality of confrontation and troublemaking. It added, "The U.S. freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea have become routine since 2017, and by conducting a new one at this time, the Trump administration is using its last month to leave President-elect Joe Biden with more trouble in U.S.-China relations." Last week, a Chinese research institute claimed a clash between the U.S. and China could be imminent. The South China Sea Probing Initiative, SCSPI, said in a statement, "We still believe that the risk of conflict is rising. Though less mentioned in media."
Good morning, I'm Sam Bauman. We'll get a ticket. Thanks.
I'm Kelly Moody. I'm Kelly.
Over to you, Eddie.
Thanks, Matt.
Apologies, we're going to go straight to the break here.
No, Raúl, no. Bueno, lo voy a tener que hacer aquí, la seguridad.
But you can see how much snow has accumulated here in the parking lot, at least a good 4 to 5 inches at this point. And I'm trying to hold on. Let me tell you, it's an hour. Of course I caved over.
Let's get out to NBC 10's Tony Gugliotta. He's live from Attleboro and pretty bundled up, Tony. Gugliotta, frozen quiet there out there in the cold. That's how cold it is, right?
Here in New York City. This morning, bumper-to-bumper traffic on I-25 after a major...
driving. I saw a number of spin-outs on 400, but drivers seem to be taking it carefully. And the good news is, of course, that a lot of people are just staying home this morning.
Brian, not a night the Irish will forget in a hurry, but it was extraordinary for other reasons too.
That's right, Sharon. There was a whole series of different events and different things that really captured the media attention, and certainly it has to be said that here in the US today.
Brian, thank you. And viewers will forgive our own set malfunction there. Thanks, Brian.
Once stage one wraps up today, the athletes will rest to prepare for Oh my God!
Especially late Thursday through Saturday morning. Hey, Carrie, it's our floor director. She's pretty good. You see those 50s?
It's going to be areas of drist and mizzle. Drist and, what am I saying here? Mist and drizzle. I literally combined both.
Get your phones out because text to win coming up. Just
I have Megan's right here. What do you?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Text.
Wow, Megan. Would you like to know about the daddy saddle?
It's a joke someone shared. All right.
I think that's the text to win contest. Megan's going to put you in the daddy saddle.
Oh, jeez. Again.
Stop. Still pretty windy, but it is going to get a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, last night I was lying in bed and I've not heard a wind like that for an awfully long time. I mean, oh, that's just wrong, isn't it? Anyway, you know what I mean. And that's
Set me off. Don't set me off.
But that's what you were. That is what you were predicting.
Yes, quite a blow.
One of the worst offenders at the restaurant is the menu. I mean, think about how many people are touching this thing. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. So many people touching this thing. And so little do you know that when you're ordering the pasta carbonara, listen, you're also ordering a whole bunch of germs. So that is one of the worst things.
Something special at the National Western Stock Show. Today is Bison Hump Day. Ranchers will meet ahead of the show to talk about ways to improve. Mitch is making me laugh. Ways to improve the bison population. Now, some of the talk will be conservation. Mitch. Some will talk new technology to manage the herds. This is all part of the Roaming to Success campaign that aims to increase bison population from 400,000 to more than 1 million animals. I'm done. I'm done with this.
You're having a hard time this morning.
That includes Hugh Janus. He works at a liquor store in Garden City.
I mean, Stewart Avenue's already bad enough during rush hour.
We'll probably sit around and cook some soups and eat bread and desserts and just get all fat and sassy.
Here's the thing. None of these people are going to win. I'm not going to win. You're not going to win. We all know it. How many are you getting, you think, in here?
5 tickets.
5 tickets? It's about $10 worth? So let me see. How much for a lighter over there? How much are lighters? Yeah, okay. So what you could do is buy a lighter, burn the rest of the $10, and then at least you still have a lighter.
He called me mama, baby. Can we make this happen? Can we make this happen? Joey's coming in. He goes with me. I'll take care of his kids.
So
I'll take
beautiful.
Tyra Martin, who has always wanted to be Tyra Martin Martin. And then...
No,
he's still there?
what I'm hearing. I love it.
He can still hear you. He's still there. I'm gonna get...
I love it.
Apple.
No.
Always remember Taco Bell's Zelda Road. We're just out here. You remember it. I mean, I think it was the best Taco Bell in Montgomery.
I can't eat here.
I felt like I lost a family member.
Well, I'm hoping we get closure tonight and we can move on to the next cause. But we're here supporting Taco Bell tonight, and that's what's important.
I'm hurt. My feelings are hurt. I got to go all the way to Perry Hill to get some Taco Bell. Hurts my feelings.
Baja Blast. Baja Blast. Baja Blast. Baja Blast.
Bro, did you break into a house? Did you burglarize a house?
Hell no. Bro, get away from the car, bro. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
We were talking before. You were just talking to these officers.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to you, though.
Did you break into a house?
No.
Okay, well, why are you in custody, though?
I don't know.
You don't know? You have no idea why you've been arrested?
No idea, sir. Why you got hair coming out your nose?
Is there anything to your mom or anything like that, or anyone you know?
My bad, Mom. My bad. I'll be home in a couple days.
Were you hurt when you were running away from?
I'm a bite, my neck. He tied me in the neck, boy.
All right, well, you have a good one there. What's your name?
Paul.
What?
Paul.
Paul, what's your last name, Paul?
I don't know. Yeah, I gave you the first one.
Now, we do see somebody in front of our favorite coffee store that I won't be named. Are you going to open today or what? We've been waiting since 5 o'clock in the morning. You don't? Well, get somebody that does. He doesn't work there, but he says he's going to be on it for us.
Tracy, are you trying to scare people into opening up their businesses to you?
Listen, if I can endure all of this, I can get some coffee up in this piece.
Absolutely,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We actually have seen a person. I was ready to call him nuts until he brought me some coffee. Come on, Mikey Bones, get over here. Mike Flint came from Neptune to bring us coffee, our knight in shining armor. Crack that canteen open. I mean, let's do what we're doing here. Thank you for the coffee.
Nah. I heard you call and I feel your pain.
That coffee's probably freezing cold already, no?
Oh, not in this thermos. No, this is one of the best things I ever purchased.
You're a braggadocious man. I like it in you. I like it in you, Mikey Bones.
He's awesome. But, I mean, looking at that robe behind Tracy.
They love you.
This is
You're a hit.
It really
hey,
is.
I love you all, most of you.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh!
And I'm at one of the... Ow! God, you little nipper. And I'm at one of the region's zoos where they're doing that annual stock take of animals. Ow! Ow! You little...
Kangaroos are often described. You're going to hit me.
Why are you doing this? Why?
Joined now by Stephen Joseph. He is Chief Executive of the Campaign for Better Transport. Very good morning to you.
Hi, unfortunately I'm Steve McKenzie. I'm the fire expert this morning.
Well, it's equally as good to have you on. Thank you very much and a Happy New Year to you. I mean, there's not much New Year cheer, is there, for commuters reading this morning, is there?
Unfortunately, I can't comment on the state of the country's transportation network. I was actually here to talk about the recent fires at Grenfell, Liverpool and Manchester.
Okay, well, as you can probably tell, we have a fire alarm. You could probably tell that before we went into that report, but we still have a fire alarm here and we're not quite sure what to do about it. So I'm really, really sorry about this, but I'm afraid we have to evacuate the building. These things happen, and unfortunately it's happened tonight, and we have very little choice. So I really apologise. We'll get back to you with the rest of the programme if we possibly can. But for now, it's good night.
Police department in California is taking an unusual approach to catch porn pirates red-handed.
Porch pirates, yes.
Oh, pardon me.
Just nannying at its silliest and its worst.
Well said. You do not mess with the sausage.
Do not mess with the sausage.
James, well, you said it. Over to you guys.
It'd be a crime to hide the sausage, wouldn't it?
Chris Belisario, the stilt walker. I was originally going to come in between her legs, but yeah, that's not what was not going to happen. Would not have made for good TV had she fallen over. So we're not trying to create a liability.
So perfect weekend to spend some time outdoors. It should be pleasant out there.
Yeah, I do enjoy 69. I might need to go up to the Tetons. All right.
Sask Energy is announcing a proposal to jack up the cost.
This is the season that matters, and despite the fact that they've had such a tremendous amount of success during the regular season.
Let's get excited about that 69. I mean, that's pretty good this time of year, isn't it? I know you're excited about the win, but how about that 69?
If you'll remember, last year he was dealing with a bulging disc issue in his lower back.
7:02 already this morning, just flying by like this week. It's Wednesday, right?
I think so.
Hump day.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Hopefully we'll have a dry hump day.
It's not real. Oh.
Because people shouldn't be wearing ankle socks. Just get long socks, people.
Get
Come
socks.
on.
Pull your pants down.
Yeah.
Or put your
What?
Keep
The
it
leg
whatever.
down.
Yeah,
Keep
put it
your
down.
pants up.
Now, Tyra Majors is live at Bakersfield Workwear in costumes with all the tips you need to know. Tyra, you are looking quite delicious this morning, I have to say.
Do I look like a tasty Popeye's chicken sandwich?
I am not going to answer any of these questions.
I kind of want to eat myself, but I can't.
That's your kind of thing, Maria. You love doing it yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Sometimes, yeah, I can. Take a look.
Tony Abbott still needs to be elected first.
Well, I won't be talking to the rose expert anymore.
I know.
But you can ask me anything about peonies. I love peonies.
Oh, flowers. Peonies.
Yeah,
Yes,
peonies.
yes.
Joining us in our studio now is the leader of Scottish Labour, Kezia Dugdale. Thanks very much for being with us.
Aaron, again, congratulations on your big Hooters. Hoosiers win.
You said what?
Wow, that was a slip of the tongue.
You know these hot cross buns?
Yes.
Well, I just had a bite of Georgie's bun, and let me tell you. What?
Yes, Carl.
Just keep talking.
It's got a dirty
I
line
know,
in here,
I know.
and I
Just
don't
keep
like
talking.
it.
Don't know where it comes from.
Anyway, I think it's got too many bits in it, Georgie.
I would suggest you don't have a crack at my buns because they are very, very good buns, and I won't hear anything to the contrary. I've seen
I'm with
Georgie's
you,
buns
Georgie.
in the making.
Okay,
Okay, excellent.
Every bloke to get out there and get a skin check and grow a beard. Cole, can you grow a beard for us? Come on, mate. You've got to get on
I'd probably
board.
have to take certain injections to pick up the hormones. I'd love to do that.
I tell you what, I'll grow a beard.
Yeah.
Because it's in my genes.
Yeah. It's in your jeans. What? So it got me thinking, what do you have by your bed that is long and stabby or whatever that is going to make a mess of someone who tries to break into your house and try and steal something from your home? Georgie, do you have something?
Well, Tim's my long stabby thing, but I used to have the Olympic torch under the bed when I was single. But yeah, now I've got Tim.
That's an excellent
Lucky.
long stabby thing.
In Washington, D.C., and also at the Penis Museum in Santa Rosa.
I contacted Kathleen Zellner, who took Ferguson's case pro bono.
Now, these little babies are so overwhelmed that they've started wearing your clothes.
That's cute.
Pussy, get out of my pants.
Wanted to congratulate Cliff Lee for his 1600th strikeout. A little bit of a tongue tie.
2,200 passengers are being blown on charter flights from the Bahamas to Maryland with a promise of a full refund and a future cruise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Just in the last half hour or so, the flakes have begun to stick a little bit on the asphalt.
Those stories, and Stephen Kay has more on a soggy forecast.
Winter weather warning right now. Here's a live look at the Fox 6 snow stick. This is out on the weather deck.
Sure you needed it, Annie. Did you get many spankings as a kid?
As a kid, no. No, wait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Mark has a little wiener. Have you ever dressed the wiener up?
Yeah, I do. He's
What are you doing?
He's actually. I had a bug there for a second. He's
especially when you're talking to young classical pianists.
The study's being published today in the Annals of Neurology.
There's still plenty of time to take part in our last Stuff a Bus event.
Clark the bear, described as a young, friendly cub who can't wait to interact with the kids. Also worth noting, he doesn't wear any pants. I think that is a gag photo. If we can switch to the next one.
First of all, I just want to know. Because John's going to move north. The moisture from John left over, the spin, the storm itself will turn into a depression. Nothing really to worry about as far as wind goes, but watch where the precipitation will go. Some of it will head up towards the west.
Their third straight loss, 6-4 to Philly last night. Pete Harnish on the mound for the Mets tonight.
Indicated and helpful. Dr. Janet Taylor, Jennifer Kratz.
Here's a Black Hawk helicopter.
Northwest began serving Peanuts merger partner, Atlanta-based Delta Airlines, has done for years. Georgia is the top peanut producer.
I like to eat candy corn one color at a time.
if you're really getting
You're a
OCD about
nibbler.
it. Well, I'm not always a nibbler. I'm kind of a gobbler. I eat a lot of candy.
Time now for a full look at your forecast with Astrid. Maybe we can canoodle before you get into it about,
We're not going to be canoodling. What?
Oh, I thought canoodle meant chat.
Graphics chips. Also some good signs.
Both shows are not having technical difficulties, so I'm watching Spain.
The great town names. Lititz.
It's Lidditz.
Dallas Mavericks championship trophy was also on display this morning for fans to get an up-close look at just the trophy, of course.
Last week, Twitter said guidelines were being updated due to confusion.
Trying to beat the world record for fist pumping. This isn't their live streaming. You know,
Okay. Yeah, we didn't need to see that. Thanks, Ray.
1 million BT customers could see their bills fall.
We're waiting to hear from Jeremy Hunt.
By and large, though, it is simply a lovely winter's day tomorrow. Bucket loads of sunshine across central and eastern areas.
Let's go back to the hose. Oh, that sounded terrible. Back to the hoses. Goodness gracious.
Photojournalist Brad Rice shows us how a forestry instructor gets his students to make and play the North American the flute in this Traveling West Virginia segment.
The team started slowly not picking up Portland's double penetration.
Trust me, you're going to love my one-eyed monster.
Joining me now, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who's the host of Huckabee, right here on the Fox News Channel.
Tanya Mosley is live at the park where protesters are set to pinch tits.
Matt Boner, Tiffany Thiessen, and Tim DeKay are the stars of White Collar. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
That would be Matt Bomer. Providing the cold and warm air asses of warm air masses.
On the KTLA Morning News recently, this big showdown between the cities two. That was an awful word slip.
Grab a hot cup of cocoa.
Then as we check the buoys outshore.
If you want to log on to myfoxny.com.
Arzane Virgie loves chocolate, one of our main kids. Oh, nice melons behind you there.
They're talking about things like the soy milk, right? You know, the rice milk.
Why not? Yeah. What else are we going to call it? Soy juice? You can't do that.
Soy jism.
7 day to make your weekend plans.
Takes a tough man to make a tender forecast, Nick.
And I guess that's me.
Keep fucking that chicken.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tonight at 5 o'clock.
Apparently, they're the most popular creatures right now this time of year. Beaver breeding.
Those little guys are cute and cuddly looking. The beavers I've seen are bigger.
And not.
Yeah, and they don't look as friendly. So I don't know. Maybe I've seen my beavers in the wrong place. Moving on.
Republican strategist and CNN political contributor is always on time. Sorry, Leslie.
When on space missions, astronauts get used to eating freeze-dried foods, but today there's something fresh.
Gotta say, it seems like a better idea than eating food grown on Uranus. Let's take a look at the game of the night.
Very lucky to see those whales in action. We went on our own trip yesterday, Georgie and Lisa, and we're going to show you some of the breaches and tail slapping action that we also witnessed in the next little while. Oh, love a tail slap. Thanks a lot for that, Emma. Good stuff.
You're right. There's nothing beats a tail slap, Lisa. And 32 in a row. What about that?
Did you have strippers at your hen's nut?
A stripper turned up, but the only problem was my mother was there. And I spent the entire time in the corner.
Trying to keep her away from him?
No.
As you and Michelle and Frank like to tease me when I talk about my Vermont weather stick, right? It arches up when high pressure is building in, and it deflects and falls downward when you have an area of low pressure in the area, and it's just going straight out because yesterday we were kind of in between systems. So it really does work. It does.
We've been asking you this morning, how cold is it? Wendy says it's so cold that the local flasher was caught describing himself to women.
Yeah. I haven't heard that one before.
There you go.
Something new every day.
Exactly.
Thank you for coming on such short notice. Miss Gray says you're the best.
Judged by those standards, rational standards. Instead, they inflame racial wounds to try to keep
Well, a Georgia woman had a good laugh when Dairy Queen made a pretty significant error on her birthday cake. Now take a look here. This is the cake in question. She's a big Moana fan, the Disney character.
They thought it was Moana. They
Why
thought
is there a
Marijuana.
little My Little Pony on it?
We can't fit. We're gonna have to go to break. Oh my God, that is hysterical. All right, I guess we're gonna still go. There's a prime problem out there.
Big problem.
Workers at Amazon making a statement against the company on one of their busiest days of the year. But first, we're gonna pull it together for time saver traffic. Oh my gosh. There's no problems in Lansing right now, and there's no problems at Jackson because it's 5:50 in the morning. We'll keep an eye on it for you. We're back in a moment.
Well, Sam Mack, you've had a humdinger this morning in the Cook Islands.
Wow, I mean, I could either pretend that didn't just happen, or I could just enjoy it.
Oh no, could it end up on me?
That actually happened. 100%, so it should. Hi ABC. Look, we have had an amazing morning here. And the Cook Islands, is a beautiful part of the world. There's so much to enjoy about the Cook Islands. We want to tell you about a deal. If you would like to visit here, this is how you can get to the Cook Islands.
Good morning, Region 8. Time now 5:24, and it is warm outside. Look at this temperature in Paragould, 79 degrees. Dew point of 76 over there, making it feel more like it's into the 80s. At the bus stop forecast this morning, temperatures are into the 70s. Wow, that horn was a little drastic this morning at the 70s. We're back with, you made me lose it.
Aggressive horn.
I'm back in a second with your forecast.
Thank you, Ross. I have to ask the question that everyone is wondering. What's a GSIB in 10 seconds?
A globally significant bank, one that's too big to fail. You don't want them to fail. Yeah?
Yeah, we've learnt something new for the day.
There you go. A GSIB.
That was my chair.
Gee whiz.
Me from WD-40. WD-40, please. How dare you suggest anything else?
Well, just everyone had heard it. Well, you couldn't suggest it. Oh.
I'm in the firing line.
You're not on camera yet.
This is what your gardener used to say, better out than in.
What you do, prepare yourself a tray with a little bit of parchment sheet underneath. And then you start to, let's not start with this. So then you start to roll your pastry out. Stay with me, okay? And this is going to be shit all the way. So, is any other word for this so then I can use?
Just a sheet. Just a sheet.
He's standing in front of the net with about 8 inches of his shaft in his hand.
So if they're canceling the train, does that mean that you and I are having another night in bed together? That's a long story.
Oh my goodness. I have no words.
Yeah.
Except that we're going to be on YouTube in a few minutes.
And the last one, Lisa?
Check out. Thanks, Carl. Check out my flaps is the headline on the Northern Territory News. Peter Rogers has put his plugger blowouts to good use, turning them into makeshift mud flaps. He's very proud of those mud flaps, isn't he?
Take those off.
Okay.
Amazing what you can do with a thong, huh?
Exactly.
Very, very best of luck. Yeah. Gino's
Gino, grow up.
Making.
No, but I like to do things with the
things
dishes.
out of a tea towel. Yeah, very good. Well,
Very good.
You should have seen what he made before.
No, don't, you will.
Turn around.
So put it there.
Oh no! Have you just done what I think? Phil?
1 second, don't turn around, don't turn around.
Also, if you have a telescope, Uranus is visible too, just near the. Did I say that near the horizon? I'm going to stick with weather.
Name that tune in one blow of the cock here.
Just to start reading a new weather term this morning.
It's nippy.
It is nippy out.
Not nipply.
Okay, Italian sausage, you will know, because they're usually bigger than the English one.
Right, okay.
And they, simple as that. That one goes in there. Now, Italian sausage goes in there.
What herbs
You're
are in
just,
an Italian
I've
sausage?
seen it. No.
What herbs are in it, do you know?
The herbs is usually rosmarino, a little bit of chili, a little chopped sandretto. It was a cold day. It was a cold day, and there is no reason why you have to share that with
Mate,
everybody.
you were in a warm studio and you were standing over there.
We're going to put the cannellini at the end, okay? Usually what I do, I put a third of the cannellini. Whoa.
No.
Of the cannellini now, and then the other quarter, it goes later, okay?
All right, let's get a check of your Friday weather now. And Natalia, where are you this morning?
There you go.
Nice melons.
Yeah, make your jokes now, guys, because I am at Melon Fest out in Chinchilla. And out here,
Queensland.
they like melons, and the bigger, the better.
A Russian peasant gave birth naturally to
No drugs.
No drugs at all. 16 sets of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
Hey, man.
How is that even possible? It's crazy. She's got quite the uterus, I'll just say that much.
Cardio burns fat, right? No. Cardio actually burns calories, usually in the form of carbs in the bloodstream that are then replaced with the very next meal that you eat and stored as more fat. This is why when you even eat low-calorie foods or run for an hour a day, it seems like you get softer, but you don't actually lose any weight. And this is one of the biggest reasons why most weight loss attempts fail within the first 3 weeks. But what's cool is there's a way to change how your body processes foods so that you not only don't store it as fat, but you turn your body into a fat-burning machine without doing extra workouts or being super strict on your diet. And if you want to learn how to do that, click the link below or above and watch the free presentation on the next.
She's moved on, she's growing up, it's all...
She's going through quite the transition at the moment. Carl and I, we ran some footage the other day of her in
that
concert.
festival in
It
LA.
was positively conservative what she was wearing.
Well, she was Hannah Montana, child star, then she
Transitioned.
ran off the rails a little bit.
She's very smart.
Grew up, now she's
Found herself a
about to be
Hemsworth.
Mrs. Hemsworth. There you go.
I mean,
more on that stuff coming up in today.
if anything's going to straighten you out, it's a Hemsworth.
Oh, and hell.
How nice would it be to be straightened out by
I know.
Hemsworth?
I think about it all the time.
Oh, you too. Too much time in bed.
Wow, yeah.
Get your phones out, because text to win coming up. Just
I have Megan's right here. What do you,
oh, yeah, there you go. Text.
Wow, Megan. Would you like to know about the daddy saddle?
Someone
What
sent me
the-
something. Someone sent me a
Wow.
joke.
Wow.
It's a joke someone shared. All right.
I think that's the text to win contest. Megan's going to put you in the daddy saddle.
Oh,
I don't even know what it is.
I
Probably
know.
inappropriate.
No, it's actually
it's
very.
actually a
It's a
kid's
child's toy.
Oh, okay.
You know, like when you give your kid a ride, but then you're a
Okay, that's
horse.
enough. Again.
Yes, there you go. 50 Shades Darker on DVD now. Fun for the whole family. Haley Steinfeld.
Today is lasagna day.
I'm
okay?
excited about this.
Now, first of all, for everybody at home, it's not called lasagna, it's called lasagne, because lasagna is one sheet, all right? Lasagne is 2 sheets. So that is the way to do it. So it's lasagne, lasagne. Now, the first thing we want to put on.
Honest answers or answers. Georgie, do you ship your pants?
Occasionally.
Carl?
I have in the past, yeah.
Lisa, do you ship your pants?
I used to, but I don't anymore.
Dickie?
I don't ship. I like to go in the store and
Okay.
So she's saying that we need to drop the sweatpants.
Really?
Not wear
And just be
sweatpants.
free. It's spring. Drop the sweatpants.
Yeah, it is the first day of spring.
That's the hashtag today. Drop the sweatpants.
Let's just turn it over to Damon.
Yeah.
Anything you want to drop on us?
No, I just want to say keep the sweatpants on.
So apps, this is my favourite here. This is called Sleep Cycle. Now, the first thing you do here is you say, I want to wake up at a certain time. So I said this morning, 5:30. And you start the alarm, but you plug it in and you sit it beside your bedside table. And it's constantly listening throughout the night because you make noise when you roll around.
Lisa and I went there straight away.
So, yeah, good. But then the great thing is, I'll keep it together here, folks. The great thing is...
So many noises, none of which we can talk
weird
about.
noises.
Came through the keyhole in my house. We immediately...
They must be very small.
We immediately locked up Lorne, my wife's knicker drawer. I thought, he's not going in there.
No. He's never coming in my keyhole, let me just say that. Were you watching the Oscars this week? Did you see the stuff up?
No, I watched the stuff up afterwards when
What
it was
did you
rerun.
think?
I just felt sorry for everybody. I
Yeah.
just thought it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that chap, that accountant fellow from Price Waterhouse and Arseholes, you know, he should be sacked.
Former accountant.
Is he off the job now?
They said he won't be doing the Oscars
Yes,
next year.
yes,
Well,
the
that
A
was-
in PwC is silent.
I didn't realise I was doing that. And
Right across my face.
There's nothing cheap about
Oh,
it.
hello! See, that's a punisher. Go on, let's do it. Pause, take it out.
Right, okay.
Right this moment, there is a mad rush in America. Apple, Amazon, Facebook, dozens more. They're all betting on a radical new technology that will change the way we live. This is the future, says Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. The Wall Street Journal agrees, calling it foundational, like the internet and electricity. Investors are paying close attention because the World Economic Forum projects this technology will soar 295,762% over the next 7 years alone. More than 5G, AI, and the Internet of Things combined. That's why companies like Walmart, Visa, Dole, FedEx, Ford, GM, JP Morgan, and Shell are also involved. And a recent report from UBS found 200 of the richest families on Earth, worth an average $1.2 billion, agreed this will fundamentally change the way we invest.
You can feel the electricity. It's almost like you felt in the 1990s with the internet.
In fact, in a story missed by the media, even Warren Buffett, famous for hating technology investments, has called this ingenious. And he's making a huge billion-dollar bet. If you've ever kicked yourself for missing out on history's biggest trends, like investing in Microsoft in the 80s, Amazon in the 90s, Apple in the 2000s, or even Bitcoin in 2010, this is it. A rare second chance. Because in today's special presentation, Wall Street legend Teeka Tiwari, the man who came to America with just $150 in his pockets and went on to correctly pick the last two investments of the decade, months, even years before the so-called experts, will finally reveal his best investment of the next decade. A breakthrough technology set to grow an astonishing 295,000%. In fact, Teeka has gone all in. In the last 2 years alone, he's invested millions of dollars, traveled to 14 countries, flown 300,000 miles, met with 4 different billionaires, all to get the inside track on what he calls Genesis technology.
Genesis is the one investment that will eclipse everything.
When Teeka Tiwari makes a new investment recommendation, people listen. In December 2015, for example, Teeka recommended NVIDIA. It went on to become the #1 stock of 2016. And in the last 3 years, his audited track record, spanning a few dozen different investments, returned an average yearly gain of 154%. That's 10 times better than the S&P 500 at record highs, 81 times the average investor, according to JP Morgan, and even 5 times better than the investing legends Warren Buffett, Bill Gross, and Carl Icahn all put together. Because of Teeka's rare ability to spot big winners, he was recently asked to manage $100 million, but he refused. Instead, Tika decided to keep doing what he does best, to share his ideas with regular, everyday Americans. Already, Tika has helped give thousands of people across the world the chance to multiply their money 7, 12, 20, even as much as 140 times over.
That is made out of hard plastic, a bit like your phone cover. You can't break that. That is coming straight back to the office for Carl and Lisa to share.
How are we going to share
Indeed.
that? Should I take the balls and you can have the knife? Can we do it that way?
Good luck with that. Now it's time to get some Italian in us and Christmas cards. Because
Hello!
Gino is here with the Tinseltown tree.
I knew you would come around at some point.
Are they making bananas bigger these days? Look at the size of that banana.
Hang on, who took the bend out of the banana too? That's a very straight banana. You know?
The only fruit you've got to tiptoe around, isn't it, bananas?
Why?
Because you can get straight, you can say anything you want about apples and oranges and watermelons. Banana, a little bit cautious.
What about rock melons?
Rock melons you get away with. Banana's the only one you...
What about plums?
Plums, you get... plums.
Peaches?
So now, yet again, you're not alone. You've got opponents.
Ah, really?
Do you want to meet them?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
go on then.
It's first up, Gino DeCampo. Come on, Gino.
But he's a chef!
Yes, no, yes.
It's got nothing to do with the chef. It's like asking a farmer if he can milk his own wife.
Okay,
Different technique,
let's just
isn't it?
move on.
Nothing like having a play on the Wii on live television.
It's the Wii first thing in the morning. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, does it?
That's right, especially the double up. You know?
The double Wii.
Sometimes you've got to wake up to do it.
6 million Brits regularly fall asleep still clutching their mobile phones because they're worried they might miss a message.
Thank you very much, Stephen. What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing?
Oh, no, nothing.
You are one of the 6 million, aren't you?
I have never gone to sleep with it in my hands.
So he
Police saying that they're going to overhaul the state's liquor licences so that you can't be drunk in a pub, club or restaurant. What's happened to this country?
Where can you be
Where
drunk?
else are you supposed to be drunk?
Correct. On a plane.
Exactly. On a train.
At the Logies. I don't know.
Honestly, the nanny state's driving me nuts. I need a drink.
police there.
You're not giving birth, are
No,
you?
no.
Is he kicking?
Yes.
Where?
Yes. No, it's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine.
okay.
It's fine. Just was a bit.
That's it. That's a vegetarian one.
Yes.
You've got a vegetarian in your thing there.
I have.
Now,
In your thing.
this is something that we would do at Le Marche, the region Le Marche. They do this one with beautiful
Where is
onion
that
and the
region?
Talegian. You want to know exactly where it is?
Yeah.
Well, if you are Italy,
Yes.
all right, and this is the Ligurian coast,
Yes.
and your boot is the Puglia,
Yes.
Le Marche is here.
Right. Okay.
So just to give you an idea, all right?
And you'd be forgiven for thinking a massive fire had caused this thick blue plume of smoke, but instead it was NASA testing its new rocket. It's a whole lot of smoke.
Looks like Friday nights in Nimbin.
Don't forget your mask.
And your Orchie bottle. Good morning to everyone in Nimbin waking up to the Today Show
Well,
this
I don't
morning.
think they'd be awake yet, would they?
Good morning to everyone going to bed in Nimbin this morning.
The EEC decision will hurt Alberta cattle producers financially, but what really hurts is the implication that our cattle are not safe. Are they doing it again? Are they? Stop that! I told you to stop that. It's not nice. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Richard.
What have you got there, Lisa?
What is that?
I've ended up with one of the props from the earlier
boy.
Baywatch segment. I've got myself a boy. Which is a pretty good outcome on a Friday, I
An
have to say.
inflatable boy, no less.
That's right. How
are you
good's an
gonna kiss it?
inflatable boy? Sorry?
I kissed the boy.
We're going.
Welcome to Python is Easy, your path to becoming a Pythoneer or Pythonista.
A brown snake in a dunny.
Now, can you imagine waking up early in the morning, sitting on the toilet, and then this popping up between your legs? All right, here's the sharp end, so this snake's going to come out swinging.
I don't know about you guys, but my sphincter just actually tightened.
Very good reason. I mean, how often do you go to the bathroom and you don't actually look down? Well, anyway, that was snake catcher Tony Harrison saving the day for a family on the Gold Coast. That's a visual we didn't need this morning. Tony, good morning to you.
What's the strangest place you've found one?
Look, what's stranger than finding it in the shitter? You name it. You let your imagination. You let your imagination run wild. Whatever you can imagine, I found them there.
I think it'd be worth the risk to just wash the underwear and run the risk of it getting damaged.
Yeah,
or just buy new underwear.
Right. Because how do you ruin your underwear? I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, there's ways to ruin it.
Let's move on.
We can't move on from that.
We get the winners of each category on in 4 days' time. Yeah. Also, Lisa's eating a pie with a spoon, un-Australian.
That's what I always do, you know me. Because I'm not a big fan of a lot of pastry. A bad pie is one that has miles of pastry and only a tiny bit of filling.
Except you eat it with a spoon.
Well, sometimes, as you know, I just stick my fist in and go for it. And then have been known to fall asleep during that process.
That's one way of doing it, sure.
This is a very good pie.
Lara, that is for sure.
One man decided to steal a flute by shoving it down his pants. You can see it in his back pants there. The owner's mother confronted the thief before he could exit the store with the flute in his pants. So then they kept the flute, but decided they didn't want anyone to put their lips on it. So they turned it into a lamp. It's now a flute lamp,
goodness.
a toot flute there.
Oh, great. Now I get to follow that one. Whew, all right. Well, let's get you caught up on your weather with Heather. Hopefully you don't get any flute. I don't even know the name Tony came up with. The toot flute. The toot flute. Hopefully none of those are in the forecast today. Whew.
So you're going to be making
cream horns.
Okay, what are they all about?
He's laughing. Is Carl being rude?
No, that was Georgie.
Why would you assume I was the one being rude? Gee, Gardner, hello. It's the quiet one.
I don't know, Aaron, are you a fan of fruitcake?
Well, I sit next to one. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that was mean. Okay, on that note, folks, we're going to be right back.
Oh, such a great day.
We have some explaining to do here.
Good morning, Perth. Coming up on the show, the man Lisa and Sylvia most want to. That's right. The legendary Pete Murray joins us to chat about his brand new album, among other things.
I always wait a week to get my hands on the latest DVD releases. So I got knocked up last night. Well, not literally, but I got the movie Knocked Up. Yes, the movie Knocked Up. Terrific. You gotta watch it, Bob.
Knocked Up. I'll put that on.
Lisa, I just want to say there's nothing artificial about Frank. You know what I mean?
Okay, there you go. We'll leave it at that, Frank.
No, that's not all. I'd like to wake up today.
All right, Frank, we're saying goodbye to you now. See you later, mate.
Goodbye. See you later, darling.
See, Carl, I can still pull him.
Yeah. Yeah, a sleazy talking wall. Wow. You still got it, Lise.
Thank you, Carl.
You want to know why running on the treadmill 7 days a week doesn't work for you when you're trying to lose weight? Because it never has. And I know that's hard to...
Well, 3 buildings have been destroyed after an intense fire ripped through them in Rumford, and now all that's left is a pile of rubble.
Yeah, in the wardrobe somewhere. You
Good
too.
luck, my man.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to see you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, just a man. Just a man.
Starting to get a little awkward, mate.
No, it's not. It's always awkward. Yeah, we make a nice couple. There you go.
And thought nothing will ever be as cool as crystal meth.
Pepsi. I mean, we sort of have, in our house, we have pink jobs and blue jobs. And blue jobs are definite dad jobs.
What? I've got to ask this. Who decides whether they're pink or blue?
Me. The bins is a blue job.
Is it?
Is it? I'm just fascinated by it.
You are?
I am. I actually really am, because I just
Righto.
think it's one thing to take a photo of yourself. I believe that's fairly common. But
To actually get your old fella and plonk it in a glass of... I mean, he says it was a wine glass, not a shot glass.
No,
it was a wine glass.
That's encouraging.
Yeah, so that's probably a good start. I must say, I wear flats a lot more often. I tend to just go to and from the studio with my high heels these days. I rarely go out with them. But, yeah, I mean, the number of times I've had my feet up and Tim having to massage my balls because they're so sore.
Good thing it's not the other way around, I guess.
New figures from the watchdog Ofcom show more children are now streaming programmes or clips on the internet than watching live television. They're also using phones from a much younger age and are often allowed to take them to bed. By age 10, 50% of children own a smartphone.
In the later season, Jimmy Choo definitely gets a mention.
Jimmy Choo shoes.
Never had a Jimmy Choo shoe myself.
No.
But,
Neither. I'd
they're
like
very
one.
popular. They're very expensive.
I'd love to try one, Georgie. Wouldn't you?
Don't worry.
Not really, too high for me.
Aha. Maybe you need some Botox.
In your feet.
In your feet.
Now live with a look at current conditions around the area.
Yeah, Panalissa, good morning. For the most part, it's fairly clear, and that is going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. It'd be black ice at this point, as we are seeing on road conditions as you head off to work. I'm Michael Kuhn for Wayne 15 News on the road this morning.
Those are the windshield wipers, by the way.
It works the midsection as well. It becomes quite a compound exercise, taking a simple movement and making it different. He looks like a dog about to walk up on a tree, I think.
What? If you don't like it, look
not
away.
Pretty. Okay, I think we should stand up, guys, because it's not good TV at this point in time. Forgive him if you ask me.
That was a really windy day. The whole thing, the whole soap thing was...
I think we should forgive him.
The wind was howling around that muff, wasn't it? That mic muff or something. I mean, but howling around. You could see it shifting. Unbelievable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now you've got to do a bit of hoo-ha before you start. That's a long jump thing. Hoo-ha! You've got to do hoo-ha!
I don't think that's
Which one?
legal,
The
is it?
back one? Oh,
You should have done a triple jump.
2.5 metres.
That's pretty impressive. That's a point at which to start.
Yeah.
You can only improve from there, Natalia.
Imagine how fast you would have gone if you hadn't done the hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha can get in the way of it, can't it?
De ce soarele cu capul sub plapumă. Da. Și începem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, God. Oh, come on, this is getting a bit too much now. No, Carl, leave it alone. Leave it alone, Carl, come on. Oh, you've got a nice head bottom there.
Here we go. Turn around, bright eyes.
Okay, I'm being asked to move things along right now.
Welcome back to the show. Well, it's certainly been a huge week in politics, and it continues to be. Christopher Pyne and Anthony Albanese join me now. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Anthony.
Christopher, good morning to you first of all, and for the record, did you like the gay porn?
Okay, we can do this one very professionally.
Yeah.
We are
Yes,
grown-up
we are.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, I made a promise, and we're going to keep it, but we concentrate on the cookie.
Yes. Okay.
Today, look at this, fantastic. Does he have to be here?
No, you can leave it if you want to.
That's lovely.
Here we go. In light of the good news yesterday with the yes vote, I wondered if Sylvia had gone out and painted the town red, as it were.
No, I just painted myself orange. actually.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
It normally takes me a little bit.
I was wondering when it was coming. We
No.
got to 9:02, so well done to you.
No, well done to your spray tanner. She's getting better.
We should go get one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll do you and you can do me.
Okay.
But wow, that was really dramatic. There's a reason they call these people heroes. I mean, they were going at a really good clip there. We've had some hot weather. I guess, you know, the good news is, yeah, send, what does that say? Send something, please. Doesn't say help.
What you were saying.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
There are a lot of people.
Dickie gets scared by his own shadow.
Dickie, when the kids come around to your place, do you give out little bottles of gin?
Like the plane, the minibus.
I don't give away any gin.
Sylvia, does that remind you of the first time you saw Pete naked?
Oh, stop it. Sorry?
Wow.
You need those thongs. The tongs. The tongs. Sorry, I meant the tongs, not thongs.
Technically, I mean, although you are naked, you're not quite naked enough.
Without the apron?
Well, I think so, in for a penny, in for a pound. What are you doing? Oh, God.
Or 6 ounces?
Right, all I'm saying is, you know, I'm just having eye contact with you, like proper eye contact.
You said, oh, he's got a thing on. He's got, look. Look.
He's got... Stay with me. Stay with me.
That's not naked.
All right, I'll take it out. All right, I had a little... somebody knitted for me. I thought it was quite cute.
Apart from, like, Byron on a Friday night, have you ever seen a shark fly?
No, I have now, mate. I've had the pleasant experience, but I've seen a few other animals fly.
Yeah, like the unicorn.
Yeah. I normally do see a couple of them on the weekend.
It has been brought to our attention that some well-loved Italian dishes have been, well, how would you say it, reworked, I suppose?
Bastardized. That's the word. Can we say bastardized?
Well, you just have.
I'm not entirely sure you can, actually, funnily enough. Do you know, I may have to apologise for that.
Gwyneth Paltrow, God bless her, has revealed that she's engaged to TV writer Brad Falchuk. Falchuk.
Right.
Pardon?
We think she won't be changing her name.
Will the Firkins be going to the wedding?
For a year.
What about the
after
Fockers?
dating for 3.
The Firkins and the Fockers?
Shush.
When they get married, will the whole Falchuks be going as well as the Firkins?
And the Fockers.
Yeah, but
you know
we're
they like
still
a party.
Far out.
We do, yeah. We're still waiting for details of the guest
It's a triple F, isn't it?
Yeah, you did well on the
it's an
pronunciation.
F off.
Very cautious of you, Dickie.
I'm glad that is over. That
In Albion, you can be anything you want to be, as everybody has their place in this magical world.
The search is on for Australia's most ordinary rig. And to tell us all about it is last year's winner, Dan the Dingo Laden. Good morning, Dan. Yes.
Hey, Carlos, how are ya?
Just turn side on for us, bro.
Oh, turn around? What?
Yeah.
Side on?
Yeah.
Yeah, side on.
That's better.
There he is.
There we go.
It's just magnificent.
How much work does it take to maintain that fabulous physique, Dad?
Lisa, it's pretty hard because this day and age with the pressure of body image and all the healthy food options, you've got to really block that out, and you've just got to really keep a low heart rate and a high calorie intake.
Anyway, they also say bad bacteria can get into those cracks, and good bacteria often gets washed away.
Well, what about other cracks that need to be? I'm just saying, especially if you work out, like, you gotta get yourself clean. Sam Mack, you've had a humdinger this morning in the Cook Islands.
Wow. I mean, I could either pretend that didn't just happen, or I could just enjoy it.
Oh no, could it end up on me?
That actually happened. 100%. So it should.
So if you don't know how to oh, sorry, if you don't know your... I'll start that again. So if you don't know your shiitake from your...
And a feisty feline has caused chaos at a baseball game in the US when it emerged from a dugout. Everyone stood and watched while the cheeky kitten darted around the field, occasionally slowing down as it got close to players. That was until a brave groundskeeper came to the rescue. The animal wasn't too happy, though, about being removed from the field, trying to start a cat fight.
Well, that's what happens when you try and get to third base too quickly.
Oh.
Take your time.
It's very good, Carl.
Into northern Kentucky, we are seeing some dry slots.
The top allergens right now are ash, alder, as well as birch.
You don't know whether it's actually gone in because it's so smooth.
I mean, it's been a drink for...
Who first opened her Waianae dairy farm in 2008, she wanted to sell milk, but all the rules and permitting required to bottle the milk made it difficult for the small farmer to do so. Did it just like...
I wouldn't have. To Carpe Diem.
Oh,
It's time to seize the day, my
Diem.
friends.
Beautiful, yeah.
How long is it going to survive out of water? Can we ask?
Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges.
We've had so much a good time here. We had so much support. Oh, sorry.
I almost got kissed. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
So your dog...
Yeah, well, the brief was find the quirkiest pet products I could. So,
love
okay,
it.
they look a little weird, but these are called the Kong Safe Stick. So there, I know.
What is that?
Would you like that?
No, I would not like that.
What do they do with it?
They throw it. You throw it.
Oh, I
Carl
see.
can
That's
throw.
right. Thank you very
And
much
Carl,
for
that
that,
suits
Katrina.
you, maybe.
A plastic stick.
Yep, that's apparently a plastic stick.
Anyway, each to their own, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you pop open a bottle of wine, you're actually popping open a big old bottle of dangerous, toxic chemicals. Mmm. Delicious. Deliciously deadly. Winemakers can legally use over 76...
Lunch in the Seattle School District, teriyaki chicken with rice bowl or turkey sub sandwich. And Ken, it's the Moxie Dunkers and marijuana. No. Marinara.
Very interesting day at school today.
Hosting a hens party is never easy.
Oh, I love a bit of Benny Hill music. Just chug it on, can't
I was just going to say, it's not the first time there's been a pecker at a hen's party.
Whoa!
Well, a Georgia woman had a good laugh when Dairy Queen made a pretty significant error on her birthday cake. Now, take a look here. This is the cake in question. She's a big Moana fan, the Disney character.
They thought it was Moana. They
Why
thought
is there a
marijuana.
picture of My Little Pony on it?
Quarter to ping pong ball size hail with some of these storms.
Well, time to check out what's trending online, and this is not a chicken. This is a chicken. Look at the size of it.
There's been a few too many chemicals injected
Yes.
into it.
Yeah, there's definitely something in that thing. I feel sorry for the hens.
They're all gone. They've all cleared out.
A bit like Fitzy and Lisa.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, today marks 50 years since Woodstock began. You remember that day, Mary?
Nope.
Nope.
Sorry. I was too stoned.
Okay. Okay, anyway, the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts will be hosting a series of events celebrating the 50th anniversary of the iconic music festival.
Sorry.
And obviously, if you're driving by and you see part of an 18-wheeler kind of dangling, it's going to lead to some onlooker slowdown.
Now take a look at this. A family in Florida has had a very rude shock when they looked outside their waterfront home to see it was in the path of a massive cruise ship. Bill, who owns the multi-million-dollar property, ran out to wave the boat away. It was so close, the tourists on board could hear him screaming. You would be ship scared if that happened to you.
Oh, yes. Sylvia Jeffreys. Wow.
Michigan dispensaries are rolling in the green. Well, in more ways than one.
Rolling in the green. I can't.
I hate this show.
And we both were just talking about how we've started doing the soaks again.
Not together.
No. Sometimes, just on a Friday night.
We have Amy here from Sunshine Craft Company. I'm sorry you have to deal with us today.
And I can actually see a planet that gets a bit of a giggle from the kids here at the planetarium, and that is Uranus. But did you know it's actually pronounced Uranus, which I also think is pretty funny.
Today's meeting will feature OKC artist JB Williams and OKC DJ Wayne in this thing. Okay.
How would you like to hit the open road on your very own trip around Australia in a brand new luxury caravan?
Have you decked yours out?
I have, yeah. I put the JPY poster up there, and I have the Michael Jackson wig,
Yeah.
the lava lamp.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a little pussy
Shagpole
there.
carpet.
Shagpole
You had a what?
carpet. There was a little pussy sitting on the bed.
It was one of those plush toys.
It's a stuffed pussy, yeah.
Welcome back to the show. Yeah, Lisa's ready for the test hat, eh?
I've got Tim's pink balls. I'm a bit worried he left them behind.
Yes.
But he's got some of his own there, doesn't he? Yeah.
Or whatever it is those little Google things are like, Alexa, like throw them all away and fucking burn them all. Why? Because they're so creepy.
Yes. Cancer in the early stages is not painful. So it is not easy for a person to know they've got cancer. That is why I encourage men to suck those titties, and I encourage women. Is it embarrassing? You don't suck a titty. What do you suck? You've got to suck something.
C'est la 2. Oui, attendez, parce que je...
Los Algodones, looking at a 45-minute delay. Give yourself some extra time as you're headed out this morning. What the fuck is happening? And we'll be right back.
Attendez, est-ce qu'il y a mon aide-soignant qui est pas... Est-ce que vous pouvez m'aider? Ouais, voilà. Parce que c'est le... Je vais ici. Ouais.
David Pocock, just fantastic result in the Rugby World Cup, no matter what you say. So proud of you.
In Popo we trust.
Yeah.
That's it. And that shirt, like walnuts in a sock.
Yes.
What about Dave?
Stop it.
It's just an amazing looking frame, isn't it?
It's not bad.
Hey? Wouldn't mind climbing all over that at the playground.
Por si sale el sol, por si va a llover, vístete ligero, tápate bien, que es el clima de hoy. Aclimátate.
Notamos que las condiciones están fluctuando entre los 80.
Detailed look at your next chance at some rain. Ooh, that was close. I was like, well, that worked. Chance of some rain.
Woke me up.
Do you have air conditioning? Well, I mean, just... Yes, I do. Before I turn it
Can
on.
someone help her? I mean, 100 degrees in the car. No, hey, so you really
I like it hot.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hasta los 90 grados parece.
Some cool companies approached me, so it's pretty exciting to see what potentially could lead from this.
Yeah. And you're single, is that right?
Yes, correct.
How's that going for you, big fella?
Oh, mate, well, I woke up with a text from
Be careful.
So, no, it was a good start to the morning this morning.
Yeah, good.
Kiwi blokes, you can't trust them. You just can't trust. You turn your back.
Good morning, everyone. It's a happy Friday here at Eyewitness News. Welcome in. I'm Sarah Shahaya.
I'm Aaron Perlman.
Oh, wow.
High Five Friday.
You did it without looking. That was good.
Now, technically, there's a television monitor in front of me, so I did. But I could have went like right in your face. I could have.
Got so close.
But I didn't.
Well, thank you, Aaron,
You're
so
welcome.
much. I appreciate you refraining from hitting my face.
Not a problem. So hard to do every day.
Whoa! I've got a knob.
Oh.
How did that happen? Oh, Millsy, I need your help. Can I? That's all right. That's all right. Here we go. Oh, look.
8 times a week.
I need it to grow, don't I?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
Look, I'm making it grow. Look at that. How good is it?
that wet. Get that in
Yeah, it's got to be
There
wet.
it is, yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling it now.
Can I put that in there?
Yeah.
Is that too
Do you
much?
want to put your thing in there?
Yeah, that's great. It's in deep.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's great. Look how wet it is in there.
Yeah. I can put my whole hand in there.
So I got a quick question for you. What's more effective for losing weight? Eating less or working out more? Now, what if I told you
There's nothing like spending a night under the stars watching a movie, and now you can take along your furry friend.
Pets, we mean. A winery just outside.
Wow.
A winery just
Maybe it's a
outside.
hairy husband.
Or wife. A winery.
A chilly start for some.
A fairly quiet weekend. 88 Mobile, Fairhope, 88 Pensacola, Destin at 88. Destin at 88.
Still pretty windy, but it is going to get a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, last night I was lying in bed and I've not heard a wind like that for an awfully long time. I mean, oh, that's just wrong, isn't it? Anyway, you know what I mean. And that's
Don't set me off. Don't set me off.
But that's what you were. That is what you were predicting.
Yes, quite a blow.
An example of what we're seeing here. Look at them sharing water just out of the cap of that bottle. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was water.
Well,
that includes Hugh Janus. He works at a liquor store in Garden City.
I mean, Stewart Avenue's already bad enough during rush hour.
Something special.
Hey, babe. Yes? I cannot believe they're still together after all the shit they've been through. Who? Your butt cheeks. Fuck you.
Hey. Hey. What did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob?
You need a lift?
If we don't get some support soon, people are gonna think we're nuts.
Matt.
Okay, guys, I got another joke for you. What does a nearsighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common?
I don't know what.
A wet nose.
Do you know why the two-piece bathing suit was invented? To separate the dairy section from the meat section.
God, Matt. That's naughty. You got another one?
Do you know why a man gets on his knee when he proposes? Because he's talking to the vagina, not you. That's a good one, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, whoa. Yes, okay.
What's the difference between a priest and acne?
I have no idea.
One waits to come on your face until you're 12.
What do you call the useless piece of skin attached to a penis? A man.
Hey, Mom. Why does Santa have such a big sack?
It's full of presents.
He only comes once a year.
That'd be very painful.
Jordan, you smell anything? You should, because it's a scent. Do you see any fruit? Because it's a pear. Do you see any snakes? It's 3 copperhead. Do you see any cars? This is 4 Lincolns. Do you see any pussy? Not for 5 cents, you don't.
Why are you encouraging her? It's a bad word.
Oh, that's a funny one. That's freaking awesome.
Okay, what do girls and noodles have in common?
They're only straight when they're wet.
Close.
What?
They wiggle when you eat them.
Mine didn't even make sense. What I said didn't.
Hey, son.
Oh, God, here we go. You're recording her.
Do you know why girls wear panties with flowers on them?
I don't know.
And remember...
So they don't smell like tuna down there?
Hey, Josie. How do you know if your boyfriend has a high sperm count? Oh, you have to chew before you swallow. Hey!
Hey, Josie. Jack and Jill went up a hill to smoke a little leaf. Jack got high and dropped his fly, and Jill said, "Where's the beef?"
Hey, Dad, what's 6 inches and leaves white stuff all over your face?
A dick?
Nope, a toothbrush, you pervert.
What's the difference between a G-spot and a golf ball? A guy will actually look for a golf ball.
You're wrong.
Guess what? You're with the wrong guy.
30 jokes on my mom, part 42. Why don't witches wear panties?
I don't know.
Better grip on the broom.
Oh my god!
Dirty jokes. So, what's the difference between a rooster and a hooker? A rooster says, cock-a-doodle-doo! A hooker says, any cockle-doo!
Mom! What does the mafia and pussies have in common? The mafia and pussies have in common. One slip of the tongue and you're deep in shit. Mom! What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
Dirty jokes with my mom, part 9. What did one saggy boob say to the other? We better get some support soon or people are gonna think we're nuts.
Hey, Josie. What does a boyfriend and mascara have in common? They both run at the first sign of emotion.
I was gonna say, sometimes they both get in your eye.
Hey!
Hey, Dad. Dirty jokes with my mom, part 57. Why don't vegetarians moan during sex?
I don't know.
They don't want to admit that a piece of meat can make them happy.
You are disgusting.
All right, what's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb?
Pregnant woman and a light bulb. Besides the obvious that one's a person and one's not. I don't know what.
You can unscrew the light bulb. What goes in hard and dry and comes out soft and wet? I can't say. Gum.
Oh my god. What's the difference between your husband and your veterinarian? Your vet still... Your vet will still touch your pussy after 16 years.
Mom, what's the difference between anal sex and oral sex? Oral sex makes your day. Anal sex makes your whole week.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Are you thinking what I'm
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Christmas.
I went into a library and asked for a book on how to commit suicide. The librarian said, fuck off, you won't bring it back. I should live.
Okay. I got another one. How did Burger King get Dairy Queen pregnant? Burger King. Mm-hmm.
I don't know this.
He forgot to wrap his Whopper.
Where are you getting all these things?
Hey, Rhonda. What does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? Beat it, we're closed.
Oh,
Dirty Jokes with My Mom, Part 26. What's the difference between a mosquito and a blonde?
I don't know if I want to know. What?
The mosquito stops sucking after you smack it.
Okay.
What?
So, my teacher asked me what came after 69. I said mouthwash.
Dirty jokes. What do a blonde and a turtle have in common?
They're both a little slow.
That too. Once they're on their backs, they're screwed.
Melissa, what's that useless skin around the vagina called? A woman?
That's really bad. That's a really bad one.
Mom, what's the difference between your job and a dead prostitute? Your job still sucks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Dirty joke time. What did the elephant say to the naked man? How do you breathe through that thing?
What do a pregnant 14-year-old and the fetus inside of her have in common? They're both thinking, oh shit, my mom's gonna kill me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Dirty Jokes with the Thompsons, Part 20. Hey, babe. How do you make an archaeologist blush? Hand him a tampon and ask what period it's from.
Dirty Jokes with My Mom, Part 32. How do you piss off an archaeologist? Hand him a used tampon and ask him which period it came from.
Hey, everybody, it's dirty joke time. What human body part is long, hard, bendable, and contains the letters P-E-N-I-S? Your spine.
Babe,
What do women and screen doors have in common? The more you bang them, the looser they get.
It's not true.
Hey everybody, dirty joke time. Hey, what's the difference between a hooker and a drug dealer? A hooker can wash her crack and resell it.
Ready for a joke? Yeah. Why do vegetarians give good head?
I don't know why do vegetarians give good head?
Because they're used to eating nuts.
So like, if we and you come and I don't, I you. So don't be telling your mans you smashed me, cause I smashed. I beat it up, little bitch.
Quick, how fast can you guess these words? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You.
Okay, Mom.
No, but she is trying to get me to do this.
Mom, if a midget says your hair smells nice, is that sexual harassment?
Yes.
Hey, Dad, what do you do if your girl
I like to eat candy corn one color at a time. If you're really getting
You're a
OCD about
nibbler.
it. Well, I'm not always a nibbler. I'm kind of a gobbler. I eat a lot of candy.
It's a sausage competition that I judge.
Oh, in like sausage eating?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's for charity, and you can get tickets online at Pick a Dick. Pick. Oh, no.
Well, you're thinking about sausage, so.
Pick a Dick. Oh my goodness.
Because people shouldn't be wearing ankle socks. Just get long socks, people.
Get
Come
socks.
on.
Pull your pants down.
Yeah.
Or well, put your leg
Whatever.
down.
Yeah, put
Keep
it
your
down.
pants up.
Now, Tyra Majors is live at Bakersfield Workwear in costumes with all the tips you need to know. Tyra, you were looking quite delicious this morning, I have to say.
Do I look like a tasty Popeye's chicken sandwich?
I am not going to answer any of these questions.
I kind of want to eat myself, but I can't.
And if you're making last-minute dinner...
But it's working. I feel sorry for them already. For this, you will pay a terrible price. Call everybody on this list, tell them to get better at that, okay?
I'm a very rare blood type. I'm AB positive.
Sounds delicious. I'm sorry. This will be great. This will be... Hot and creamy.
If you tell anyone what you've seen here today.
This is my stapler! There are many other staplers like it, but this stapler is mine!
Oh, that's great, Sam. But you missed the target. I'm over here. Did you see?
Oh my god, my glasses are steaming. Look at me.
Oh, Hibachi, the hunter. Both are known poachers.
Turn the camera on him!
No, wait! I didn't understand.
여기 나랑 같은 여자 뭐죠? 걔가 정치는 그 건연해요. 나 건연이 싫어요. 무슨 소리야? 날 건강이 싫어요. That's the hard one. 자두와 점이온 점수점.
Now here's a sketch we're doing about sensitive men, and Jim decides to go off script and share his true feelings with Tommy.
No, I mean, I don't feel attractive anymore. That's how I feel.
I think you're very attractive, man.
And your butt, it's nice, man.
You know, man, your skin is so smooth.
I'd like to lick right now.
mad at you.
Hi, it's Carl Allen. The guy who gave you the loan you need? Oh, Jesus.
Mr. Ventura, so looking forward to your arrival.
Norma yelled. 정준 아씨는 어때요? 정준 아씨는 안 되나? 정준 아씨는 안 되네. 정준 아씨는 안 되나? 정준 아씨는 안
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
I mean, it's a freaking miracle to get to work on time.
For the past 200 years. If not, the peaceable Wachatis will assuredly be obliterated. The Wachutus are bloodthirsty.
Do I have something in my teeth? Screw it.
Come here.
Took one right out the window.
I know, I saw that. I figured we danced. Oh, it's mine. Yeah, it's you.
Yeah. It's the creator screwed up.
Tell me.
Positive. I'd be positive. Okay, sorry.
I have a very...
It's a rarity. Yeah, well, there's storehouses all over the world, all over the, with tons of stuff on ice and it's, sorry.
Ready for this?
Paper cut. Okay. Grace!
Mini Kiki.
Yeah, well, they need my blood. I have a very rare blood type. I'm AB negative.
I'm IB positive.
Am I AB negative or am I AB?
I don't know what you are anymore.
Akanahi. Hanakahatanane watakana.
Oh.
Stop being such a martyr.
Martyr? I'm not a martyr. I was going to say I'm an actor. I'm not being a martyr. Who the hell am I? Oh yeah, shit. Okay, martyr, I'm not being a martyr. Libby, wah. Chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Hi! Martyr, I'm the victim here. Don't you smile. Don't you smile right now, I swear. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Loser. Ready? Just one more thing. Here's your boo-boo doo-doo. Here's your boo. Here's your boo-boo doo.
Ahoy, mio! Oh, sada mia!
If I was a boxer, I would bounce those things like Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Just wanted to let you know I'm quitting.
Woo!
See ya.
If you're a responsibly armed American, you need a membership with the U.S. Concealed Carry Association. I'm going to tell you why. When you become a USCCA member, you'll get life-saving education.
Sometimes unscripted moments breathe more life into a scene.
The adults are talking.
And other times they
I'm so sorry.
fall short. Luckily in the MCU, the improvisation gene is impeccably strong amongst its actors. So in this video, we're taking you through all of Spider-Man's unscripted moments that completely took the films to another level. Action. We all know Tony Stark isn't one to get himself caught up in emotional moments, and in Spider-Man: Homecoming, Peter Parker learned that in a pretty awkward way. After Tony Stark has a talk with Peter in his car, he reaches over to open the car door, but Peter thinks he's actually leaning in for a hug. Remember?
That's not a hug. I'm just grabbing the door for you.
Well, check out what Tom Holland had to say about the scene.
Well, that was actually an improvised moment. I think I just tried to hug him. I just thought it would be funny if I hugged him and...
The hilarious moment was completely improvised for laughs, but Robert Downey Jr. went along with it. Speaking about Tony Stark and his emotions, during the final moments of Avengers: Infinity War, he was nothing but emotional. Same Mr. Stark. As Spider-Man turned into nothingness in his arms, we were all a puddle of tears when he desperately chants,
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Sir, please. Please, I don't want to go.
That was all Tom Holland again. The director gave him free rein on the death scene, and Tom delivered. Even if he doesn't think it was that spectacular himself.
I don't want to go 3 times in a row. So it's not that amazing of an ad-lib.
It's hard to believe Spider-Man is one of Tom's first big roles. Tom Holland and Zendaya's chemistry is off the charts. Peter Parker and MJ are like magic on screen together, and a lot of that is thanks to the actors' off-screen friendship. According to Zendaya, Tom has a habit of deviating from the script, but thankfully they're so in tune with one another that she was able to respond right back, no matter how annoyed she was.
He just kept improving. He just did not stick to the script. He was trying to throw me off.
What's your favorite Peter and MJ scene?
She knows. I told...
The American wrestler John Wright has been sanctioned by the IOC.
Told her.
He didn't tell me. I figured it out.
If there's one thing better than watching Peter and MJ on screen, it's watching Peter, MJ, and Ned interact with one another. But the truth is, a lot of the time we're watching their off-screen relationships shine through the camera. Remember in Spider-Man: Far From Home, Ned walks in on MJ and Peter while he's changing into his Spider-Man suit?
The costume looks great. For the costume party.
Well, Ned wasn't in on the fact that MJ had found out their secret and tried to play it off. Ned's actor, Jacob Batalon, actually said that was one of his favorite scenes to shoot because he got to improv all his comments. There was a lot of laughter on set that day. We have to give Jake Gyllenhaal credit for playing such a convincing role as Mysterio. Who knew that he would actually turn out as a villain in the end? But it looks like we should be praising Jake for more than just his impeccable acting skills. According to the actor, he and director John Watts came up with a lot of unscripted moments for his character that ended up in the film. We don't know what specific scenes these moments are in, but let's just appreciate Mysterio for a sec.
Somebody get this stupid costume off me!
Having Aunt May be played by a younger actress in the Marvel Universe gave us a whole other perspective on her relationship with Peter. It's so comforting to see the two of them interact on screen. But you'll be shocked to find out that a lot of their scenes were unscripted as well. One specific improvised moment in Spider-Man: Homecoming happened while they're eating in the Thai restaurant.
How many times do I have to say larb before you talk to me? I know I larb you.
Their conversation was just something the actor made up on the fly with some guidance from the director. Yet again, we have another improvised moment between Peter Parker and Tony Stark. This time, it's in Captain America: Civil War. Check it out.
I'm gonna sit here so you move the leg.
Tony Stark telling Peter to move over might seem like it was in character, and it is. But it was also Robert Downey Jr.'s way of telling Tom Holland to scoot over onto his set marker without ruining the entire take. Funnily enough, it ended up in the final cut.
Can you even see in these?
Yes.
These knives are awesome.
Yes, I can't. Look, I can't.
Samuel L. Jackson got his moment to shine in Spider-Man as his character Nick Fury. He even got sassy with Spider-Man, although the line wasn't even scripted. When Peter admits he's a little hesitant to join their newest plan, Fury says,
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Samuel L. Jackson may not have recalled whether the line was improvised, but Jake Gyllenhaal jumped in to confirm it was 100% unscripted. I'm here to attest, that was improvised. Despite his hesitancy with Nick Fury, Peter was all in for helping out Iron Man on his Avengers Infinity War mission. But Tony Stark wasn't having it. Or should we say Robert Downey Jr. wasn't having it. While Iron Man is having a discussion with Doctor Strange, Peter chimes in that he's backup.
I'm backup. No, you're still away. The adults are talking.
But that was yet again another improvised line between the unscripted heroes Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. Spider-Man: Far From Home is full of European landmarks that make the entire movie stunning, even if a lot of them do get destroyed. According to a Screen Rant interviewer, a lot of improvising happened in a specific landmark, the London Tower. The film's final battle takes place in London, and supposedly during this scene, the cast shot so many versions because of their ability to improvise. You'd never be able to tell in the final cut.
They joined forces like the Power Rangers. You're thinking of Voltron. Who? Voltron, you're thinking of Voltron.
Drax's line,
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
Is one of the funniest highlights that came out of Avengers Infinity War, even if Spider-Man's life was literally being threatened in the scene. The line, however, was actually ad-libbed by Drax's actor Dave Bautista. The rest of the actors, including Tom Holland, are just so professional that they rolled with it. The camera operator even seemed to be quick to react. Michael Keaton got some time to shine in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but one of his best lines didn't make the final cut. According to Tom Holland, Keaton actually made a direct reference to his role as Batman in the 80s. His character Vulture is a little confused as to why Spider-Man would save him, and after Tom Holland delivers his "because I'm Spider-Man," Keaton supposedly responded, "but I'm Batman." We don't know if the line was part of the script, but Tom Holland seemed to be hinting it was ad-libbed. Like we mentioned before, Jake Gyllenhaal played the perfect Mysterio, and a lot of why his character is so epic may be because of how well he got along with Tom Holland. According to Tom, Mysterio and Spider-Man were actually meant to bump heads a lot. However, while filming, their interactions turned out to be more friendly. The directors decided to let them head off the script and build their own relationship between the characters. They basically became BFFs.
Good luck, kid. I'll give you about a 50-50 chance. You're pretty awkward, so.
We also see Spidey's actual BFF, Ned, get his own romantic interest. But according to Ned's actor, Jacob Batalon, Ned's relationship with Betty was basically developed by him and actress Angourie Rice. He says they were given a lot of space for improv. They may not have lasted super long as a couple, but there's no doubt they were adorable.
I would totally kiss you, but I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.
I might have a mint.
It seems like Jacob Batalon had a lot to do with all his characters' relationships. With the chemistry between Peter and Ned, we've never doubted the way they were childhood best friends. And the chemistry between the actors off-screen is why it's so authentic. Apparently, because Tom and Jacob weren't given the script days in advance, they never knew their lines, which means their interactions are purely the two actors playing off one another.
Do you know him too? Yeah, we met. I stole the shield.
If we needed any more proof that Tom Holland is holding his own when it comes to the rest of the Marvel cast, this video is it. Watching these actors not only play superheroes, but be superheroes when it comes to bringing to life a character is nothing short of impressive. Let us know if you have any other unscripted Spider-Man moments we should discuss. Thanks for watching The Things, fans!
Almighty push. I got drugs in the London.
Light man, turn the lights down. Sound man,
man, turn the sound up. Nobody make a fucking sound. Everybody turn the fuck up. Everybody turn the fuck up. Everybody turn the fuck up. Turn the fuck up. Everybody turn the fuck up.
You got this.
What the
hell? You totally got this.
I tried so hard and got Salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Salam alaikum.
Okay. You ready? I'm gonna reach 1 million followers by February. What? Yes! Game over! I'm the first shot! Yes, 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 yes. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. On the first shot.
Да изведение, как Иисус, и я думала, что вознесусь от красоты.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deja vu, I've just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go home. Calling you, and it's such a mystery. Standing on my feet, so hard when I try to be me. Oh. Look at my down, bitch down. 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 Look at my down. I just wanna let it go for the night. Every